Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook Library, a sanctuary of stories where fan fictions come alive, where ancient legends echo from the East and Western worlds awaken with wonder. Settle in. Your journey begins now.
Reborn in Originals Chapter 26 The First Blood Hybrid Viktor. What is it that you desire? Katerina. I want to be like you. I want power. Power to never again be weak. To never give in to what anyone says, and for that I want to become like you. A vampire. Everyone looked at her as she said the last word. Cole. Who did you hear that from? Katerina would have just said Trevor's name and be done with it. But she wasn't a fool like him, so she kept quiet, which made Viktor smile. Viktor. Well, she ain't a snitch, and I'm assuming that's because she knows her life isn't in danger. Niklaus. Well, I could indulge you, since I haven't turned anyone for centuries now. Viktor had warned the Mikaelson not to turn someone into a vampire recklessly, as he didn't want too much vampires that are unkillable around, as to give the other supernatural creatures a chance. Even he has only turned one person into a vampire, and that was in southern France, 1002. Viktor. No, brother, I got this. Viktor then looked at Katerina with a smile. Viktor. Well, do you know you might die from your transitioning? Viktor asked, as he knew about the werewolf bite from Teen Wolf. A chance at death or rebirth. As the popular saying back on Earth, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And no joint with the vampire blood in her system. Only God knows what will happen to her. Viktor. Do you still want to proceed? Niklaus. Wait, hold on. We all know that she is going to die. But when you meant dead, do you mean like actual death? Viktor nodded, as he himself didn't know what will happen, as he is using a method never seen in either of the series. Elijah. But from all our years of experience, we haven't seen the few we turned die, so why is hers going to be any different? Viktor didn't answer, as he transformed, showing his true face, and not just an ordinary true face they all knew, but Viktor appeared to have grown side hair, grew extra fangs, his ears elongated, claws came out of his fingers, and his eyes appeared to be blood red, different from his normal eyes of both his normal transformation as a vampire or werewolf. If it was any other people here, they would not know, but they knew or had an inkling to what he did. Cole. You finally mastered that transformation, Nick, and you have been trying for ages. Viktor. Yes, this is the completed hybrid transformation. Katerina took a step back when she saw his transformation. He was different from what was described. Rebecca. Bloody hell, don't tell me you are going to make her a hybrid. Everyone present there looked at Viktor, wondering what was going on in his head, except Niklaus. Niklaus had always wanted an hybrid army, but he didn't like the wolves, as he deemed them weak and were still arrogant on top of that, and he still held a grudge against them for the death of Henrik, even when he is still alive and kicking, and when the current pack of wolves has no hand in it. But now a possibility has arrived at his doorstep. Even if he will be limited to a quota, he wouldn't mind. Niklaus. Katerina, if you don't mind, he said, as he vamped speed to her and brought her before Viktor. Viktor. Brother, please don't force her. It should be her choice. Viktor said, as he knew Katerina will not back down. Even if she is a coward when it comes to her life, she is willing to risk it if she knows she will come out of it alive. Katerina. What is this hybrid thing? Viktor. Hybrid is a combination of two species in one. Like Nick and I. We are werewolves and vampires, while Cole over there is a witch and a vampire. So instead of calling him a hybrid, we call him a heretic, the first and only known one. Niklaus. And my brother here is forgetting something. You see, Kat, my brother is not only a creature of two species but of three. Can you guess what it is? Katerina thought for a while as she think for the answer. Katerina. A vampire, witch and a werewolf. A smile appeared on Niklaus's face when he heard her answer. Niklaus. You are smart, I like it. Too bad you are not going to be turned by me. Yes, you got it right. Viktor here is the very first hybrid. When Katerina heard Niklaus, she knew that it will be in her favor if she was turned to a hybrid by Viktor, even if there is a chance that she might die. Katerina. I accept. Turn me. Viktor. This is going to hurt a lot. Viktor said, as he bit her while injecting his blood into her, which caused conflict between the two genes. That caused Katerina to scream in pain, but the noise could not pass the living room, as Freya has already cast a silencing spell. Viktor looked at the screaming Katerina, who was rolling on the floor, when Ketsia came to him. Ketsia. Do you think she will make it? Viktor, still looking at Katerina, replied. Viktor. She will. If she can't survive this, then I'm afraid nobody else will, Viktor said as he knew Katerina that much. Her will to survive comes first than anything else. She is willing to even sacrifice her friends, that's if she even considered them as one to save herself. She even managed to evade the big bad wolf for a whole 500 years. Who could do that? Nobody. Niklaus. I hope she does. She is the key to everything. After some time, Katerina stopped shaking and screaming, which means she has died. The Mikaelson knew death was part of a vampire's transformation, so they waited for her to wake. But if she did not wake after some time, then they will have to label her as a lost case. Viktor sent a telepathic message to Trevor to bring them someone because he believed in Katerina. After a few hours of waiting, Katerina finally woke up with red eyes but not as intense as Viktor's. Cole. Welcome to the land of the living, Katerina. How do you feel? Katerina. Thirsty. That was when Trevor walked in, but froze when he saw Katerina bloodied on the floor. He thought he was done for but was relieved when he heard Elijah's word, but he was still scared. Elijah. Trevor, what are you waiting for? Guide her on how to complete her transition. Trevor. Yes, my lord. Trevor took the human to Katerina and showed her how to feed properly, thereby completing her transition to the first ever sired hybrid. Chapter 27 Creed Tab Trevor. Lady Katerina, what is the meaning of this? We made a deal and now you are going to turn your back on me. It has been months since the transformation of Katerina, and to say she was pleased would be an understatement. She was over the moon. Viktor and Niklaus, who wanted to watch over his experimental subject, trained her in how to use her newfound power, how to be a vampire and how to be a werewolf. Katerina learned everything needed to live her new life the past few months. That's when Trevor started to pester her about her promise to him, which she finds very annoying. Katerina. If you know what's good for you, don't you ever try to call me again. If you want to keep your life. Trevor got angry at the realization that he was used by her. She played with his feelings for her. He couldn't let this go. He will have to make her pay. Who does she think she is? A newly turned newborn threatened to take his life. How laughable. He will have to teach her a lesson today, even if he has to offend his masters, and so he attacked her, hoping to teach a small lesson and make her pay for using him. He vamped speed to Katerina, aiming for her neck, but he didn't accept Katerina to be able to follow his movement and even have the strength to block his attack. Katerina. You fool, you never knew anything, do you? You are nothing but a 5th-generation vampire, whereas I am of the 2nd generation, a first blood and not just a 2nd-generation vampire but a hybrid. So how did you expect to win against me? Katerina said as she broke Trevor's hands, which were aiming for her neck a while ago. Ah! Trevor screamed out in pain as Katerina broke his hands. Katerina. Just this and you are already screaming in pain. Then what if I do this? Katerina said as she ripped his hands of his shoulder. Ah! Katerina. Sigh, you are just a whiny crybaby. Since you are alive after they know that you were the one who sold them out, I guess they need you alive. So thank your God for them, since they are the reason you are alive. Trevor was still screaming as he laid there on the ground, wondering why Katerina was this strong despite being a newborn, beat a fledgling vampire like him. This doesn't make sense. He laid there not knowing what to do. He can't continue to stay with them. He has offended them, not once but twice, which will guarantee his death. So he struggled to get up and vamp speed out of there. The Mikaelson's resident Finn. I think Trevor is gone as I can't find him anywhere. Cole. Of course he will. One might be a fool at everything, but not a fool when it comes to one's own life. Elijah. I never know you were into poetics, brother. Cole. What can I say? I learned from the best. Elijah. Speaking of Viktor, where is he currently? I can't seem to find he and Ketsia around. Rebecca. You are too dense, Elijah. Don't you know that when two lovers are away means two things? 1. They are on a date. 2. They are either doing something somewhere. Niklaus. And how do you know that, Rebecca? Have you been having flings behind my back? Sister. After the incident with Alexander, Niklaus has taken it upon himself to rid Rebecca of any untrustworthy men in her life, as he deems her as a woman with a bad judgment in men, and so far no man has caught his eyes. Seeing as she did not reply him, Niklaus continued. Niklaus. Seeing as you are not responding, I will assume that my guess was correct. Sigh. Now I will have more blood on my hands. Rebecca. Why are you doing this to me? It's been years since that incident. So why are you still interfering in my life? Niklaus didn't pay her any heed as he left the residence to unleash a massacre. Rebecca. Are you all going to let him just get away with that? Freya. We tried, but he won't listen to anyone. All he says is, and I quote, I'm only trying to protect our family and our little sister. As she falls in love with wrong men. How is that wrong? Rebecca. But I've learned my lessons to never trust anyone completely apart from my family. Henrik. He is just being an overprotective brother. He will get over it soon. Just give him time. The rest of the siblings assured Rebecca in their own way. Elsewhere, Viktor. Now, we will have to leave in a few months as father will be back soon. I will send Katerina to look for her. As I don't even know where to find her. Only with her year of birth and the day she turned, which is frustrating. Viktor and Ketsia lay on a bed with Ketsia sleeping besides him. Viktor. Let me check my stats. It's been long since I last checked that. Status name. Viktor Mikaelson. Title. Reincarnator. The strongest Mikaelson. Original vampire. Vampire progenitor. Age. 515 species. Original tribrid, vampire plus werewolf plus witch, skills 10 times learning speed, sword fighting LVL max, hunting LVL max, hand-to-hand combat LVL max, acting LVL max, blood manipulation LVL max, shadow manipulation LVL max, illusion casting LVL max, flying thunder god LVL max, magic combat LVL max, abilities werewolf transformation, partial werewolf transformation, fear inducement, magic siphoning, mind compulsion, weather control, animal control, healing factor, immortality, super senses, shape shifting, super speed, super strength, super stamina, telepathy, telekinesis, dream manipulation, profession doctor, grandmaster teacher, grandmaster author, grandmaster architect, grandmaster perks, 5 times increase in strength every 10 years. Creed tab. Viktor. So I am over 500 years now. Ah. How time flies. And what is this new tab? Creed Tabe decided to check this new update that just came out of nowhere. Creed tab. Andrei Devereaux, Katerina Petrova, Viktor. A list of people I turned. This is great, and I have even forgotten about that guy. So his name is Andrei. Should I send Katerina to get him before she goes to look for her? I should probably do that. After all, I was the one who turned him. Chapter 28. Eric. Come on, boy. You can do it. A voice could be heard over a battlefield talking to a boy who was running towards the voice of the man who just spoke. The man is indeed Mikael, the father of the original vampires. Michael. You are not fast enough, boy. I giving you a grace this time, but there won't be a next time. The boy whom Michael was talking to is war survivor who Michael took pity on and brought him under his wings. Michael decided to train him as no one under him should be weak, but he didn't give him a extreme training like when he trained his children. I'm trying my best, sir. Michael. Did you say tried your best? Boy, even a cow can run more than that. And you call it your best? The young boy didn't know what to say and just lowered his head. He knew Mikael was training him for his own good, so he could not refute his words. Michael. I will have to increase the difficulty of your training. It looks like you are getting complacent. The boy knew that the days ahead of him are going to get more intense and dangerous. Michael told the boy to go back to his quarters and rest for the day. A year later, Michael trained the boy whom he now named Eric. After Michael increased his training difficulty, Eric has tried his best to meet up with Michael's expectations so that he might receive his praise, but all he got was more training, which Eric had no choice but to comply. Eric also became a formidable fighter and warrior in the battlefront. Everyone knew his name and also gave him a nickname, Michael's protege. Due to this reason, the military general also tried to ask Michael to train the rest of the soldiers, but Michael told him, if he tried to tell him what to do next time, that might be his memorial date, which made the general gulped in fear, and never in his life would he try that again. The days passed as the war came to an end, and Eric is now 18. Michael. Boy, it is time to go back home, so I will ask if you will go back with me or live the rest of your life without me. Your choice. Michael laid down options from which Eric would choose from. Eric weighed down his options and decided to follow Michael, which put a faint smile on Michael's face as he has taken a liking to Eric. Michael. All right, get ready. We will be leaving tomorrow, during the early hours of the day. Eric. Are we not going with the rest? Michael. And why would we do that? The reason I came to this war was so that I get rid of the stupid nobles, but I still saw some of them here, and you expect me to travel among them. Eric did as Michael said as he got ready for their journey. Mikaelson's resident Elijah. I guess today is our last day here in England. Elijah said as he touched the exterior of their building for the last time. Finn. I'm afraid so, brother. Elijah. Sigh. Let's go meet up with the rest. Elijah and Finn walked to the living room where they saw the rest of their siblings gathered. Cole. How good of you to join us, brothers. Niklaus. What do you expect? We have grown attached to our lives here, even I am unwilling to leave. Viktor. All right, Niklaus, Elijah, don't be so down. You will have a place to call home soon enough, so cheer up. We've got a world to explore. Freya. Father should be here very soon. Are all the things you all need packed? Freya asked as she used a locator spell on her father, monitoring his movements. Henrik. Yes, sister. And I have to say, I'm loving this shadow power. More and more. Henrik said as he just recently figured out the storage ability of the shadow manipulation, as they didn't have an idea about it, as the only thing they knew was how to apply it in their fighting style, and Viktor forgot to tell them about it. Rebecca. I'm ready as anyone can be, sister. Viktor saw everyone ready and waiting for their father to come before they leave England that night. He called Katerina to assign her a mission to bring the first vampire he turned, Andre Devereaux. Viktor. Take this. This is a dagger I specially made. You just have to put a drop of your blood on it and it will be bound to you and you alone. Katerina took the dagger as she ran her hand through the surface, feeling the smoothness and fine craftsmanship of the dagger. She did what Viktor told as she cut herself. Immediately her blood touched the dagger. She felt a connection to the dagger as if she could communicate with it. Viktor. Take this and this. Follow the dot on the map and locate the person whom that dot is connected to, and after you are done, both of you should locate the woman on the painting. You might find her around the early 1800s. Once you locate her, throw that dagger to a wall or tree and I will appear. Do you get it? Katerina took the things Viktor gave her and also processed the information that she was given just now. Katerina. Yes, but I have to ask. Who are they? Katerina didn't know who they were or how they were related to Viktor or the rest of his siblings, as they were never mentioned. Viktor. Just do as I say. The one on the map will tell you who he is when you meet him, and as of the woman, you don't need to know who she is for now. Viktor left as Katerina just looked at back before she vamped speed out of there to carry on her mission. Back to the rest of the Mikaelsons, the door to their residence swung open as Michael came in with a boy no other than 18 appeared besides him, which made the siblings confused as Michael was known for not socializing with anyone. Rebecca. Who is he? Father. Michael. He is a young lad I took a liking to. What's wrong? Viktor. We never knew you to be someone who took care of anyone without a reason. Michael. I just like the boy as I saw potential in him. What more reason do you need to know? Viktor just kept quiet as he went Ketsi aside because he was just coming back from his discussion with Katerina just now. Niklaus. Oh, I see that potential in him also. Niklaus said with a smile as he was looking for who to turn into a hybrid, and here, his father just brought him just the specimen he was missing, a worthy human. Eric had a very bad feeling when he saw Niklaus's smile. Chapter 29. Andre and Katerina. Why are you looking for me? A man with a black hair, pale skin and a round handsome face said to a woman who was extraordinarily beautiful and has a seductive aura. She has an oval face with fine bone structure, a wealth of brown curly hair, and almond-shaped, deep brown eyes with thick dark lashes, as he sat down at the bar counter waiting for his drink. Katerina. My name is Katerina Petrova. I was sent to get you. The man looked to the woman before him and observed from her head to her toe, looking for any sort of sneak attacks coming his. Not that he was afraid or anything, but it will be bothersome if he has to ruin his clothes. May I ask who is this person that sent you? Katerina. Viktor Mikaelson. She has said as she has nothing to hide after all. Who could go against him, if they know who he is? The eyes of the man flickered with a sign of recognition, but he quickly composed himself. I don't know who that is. So if you don't mind, he said as he stood up, forgetting about the drink he ordered for. Katerina. You know, if it was someone else, you would have succeeded, but me, you are going to try much harder than that. Katerina said as she showed him the map and the dot on it indicating his current position, and also she knew Viktor wouldn't send her to a dead end. What is it that he wants? Katerina. Good question. Even I don't know what he wants from you, but seeing as you are trying to get away from him, I assume you know something. Sigh. I don't have to answer to you, so goodbye, he said as he vamped speed to her back and snapped her neck. Too bad, you are just a fledgling. He should have sent someone stronger than you. He took the map from Katerina as he tore it and left the bar after compelling everyone in it to forget what happened and take Katerina as someone who fell asleep over a drink. A few minutes later, Katerina. Sigh. I lost him and he also destroyed the map, but he is underestimating me if he thinks that my last resort. Katerina said as her eyes turned red as she left the bar and ran into the wild where she shifted into a wolf as she tracked down her prey. Few weeks later, Katerina. He should be around here. But before she could continue, a man with unnatural speed held her and pinned her to a tree. I have to say, you are really strong for your age, but I wouldn't be surprised as you were turned by him. Viktor Mikaelson. Right? Katerina didn't answer him and just stared at him with a glare. But that wouldn't be enough, cause you see, I am the first one to be turned by him, compelled to live like him for centuries, and you expect me to go back when he calls me? Never. Go back and tell him to come for me himself. Katerina laughed at the fool before her as she daggered him at his stomach, which gave her a chance to pour her frustration on him for what he did to her these past few weeks. Katerina. You are a fool if you think you can take him on. You are not even an aunt to him. You might be stronger than me because of our age difference despite my advantages, but you lack something I never lacked, and do you know what's that? The man growled in pain as he tried to remove the dagger from his stomach, but the dagger didn't even budge. Katerina. The guidance and the training of the Mikaelsons, that's what you didn't have, so if you know what's good for you, you have to comply with me or else what you've been desperately looking for will come to you. Katerina said as she waited for the man's reply but didn't get one as the only thing she hears are his screams of pain. Katerina decided to pull out the dagger but kept it in a striking position as that was her only leverage against the man before her. What's that dagger, Katerina? A dagger made by the one you desperately seek, Viktor Mikaelson. What you experience is just only a small effect of the dagger, Katerina said as she smiled while holding her dagger pointed at him as if daring him to come at her. Sigh. I can't win against him, right? Katerina nodded as she knew nobody in this world can go against the original family and live to see another second, not even the evolved werewolves, as the last time they did, she heard that their entire pack was obliterated from the face of the world by someone who goes by the nickname Eric, the Red. Fine, you've won. I didn't even intend to stand against him in the beginning, I just wanted to avoid him for as long as I live. Katerina. What is your name? The man was shocked at Katerina as she didn't even know the name of the man she was sent to fetch. Katerina. Don't look at me like that, he refused to tell me who you were, so don't give me that look. Sigh. My name is Andre Devereaux, the first ever sired vampire turned by Viktor Mikaelson himself. Katerina looked at him briefly and knew why he was stronger than her, and if not for the dagger Viktor gave her, then she would not have stopped him. Katerina. I see. Now that you've agreed, then you have to behave yourself when you are around me or else this dagger will go through your heart next time. Andre looked at the dagger and wondered what will happen if it went through his heart, but it won't ever find out as he will never give her the chance to even do that. He was caught off guard the first time and he wasn't a fool to make the same mistake twice. The only reason for him to even listen to her was because Viktor was calling for him and he will never in his undead life even think of messing with the original vampires. Andre. That's not going to happen, so which direction are we heading? Katerina. Take this, we were tasked to find her. Katerina gave him a painting of the woman Viktor gave her. Andre. What? I have not even reported to him yet and I have already been assigned a mission. Katerina just ignored him as she started walking towards the next town. Chapter 30 Early 1700s Extra Chapter 1/2 New Orleans, Early 1700s Skull. This place is wonderful, I can feel the magic surrounding every corner, Cole said as he stepped foot on the grounds of New Orleans. Niklaus. I agree with you, brother, this place is like a home to us, supernaturals. The Mikaelsons have been traveling from one place to another, never staying in a particular location for long. They recently just left their previous location before coming to New Orleans. Rebecca. Why don't we go find a place to rest for now, before admiring our new environment? Henrik. I agree with Rebecca, my butt is aching from all the travels. Elijah. I will go to the leader here and process our stay here. Why don't you all go find a place for tonight? Cole. Typical Elijah, always the noble one, always trying to mingle with the higher-ups. Elijah. I'm just trying to have a peaceful conversation with the leader here, so that we could live a peaceful life without people trying to undermine us, which will lead to unnecessary massacre. Finn. By a peaceful conversation, Do you mean compelling him to do your bidding? Elijah. I don't see another way to have a peaceful conversation without compelling them. Viktor. Sigh. We should stop this stupid squabbles and find a place to rest. I will be joining Elijah to have a talk with the leader. Cole. All right, do your things. I will be going to introduce myself to the witch community. Freya. I will be joining you, Cole. I will like to see the witches here also. Freya said as she looked at Ketsia whether she was going to join them. Ketsia. You should go without me. I want to rest a little bit. I tired from the journey just now. Rebecca. Henrik. Ketsia. Mikhail. Finn and Eric went to find a hotel to spend the night as Viktor. Elijah and Niklaus went to meet the governor of New Orleans while Cole and Freya went to the witches of New Orleans. Governor Mansion. A man who appeared to be of a small stature, with a potbelly, could be seen walking to group of maids and a butler talking to the man and writing down what he says. You should know that this is very important to us, so we should make sure to invite her, so as to not lose any face that day. The butler nodded his head with contemplation as he did not know how he was going to do what his master is asking of him. That's when he heard a voice, which made him turn to see three individuals standing in their front. Two of the three men had the same features, both one appeared a bit matured than the other who was smiling at them, but he knew that the smile of the man was dangerous. As he tried to call the guards to come to the hall, the one with a noble aura spoke again. Elijah. Sorry, if I startled you, as my brother just said, we can help you with the person you are desperately trying to contact. The governor looked at the three men warily as none of them even sensed the presence of the men in front of them until one of them spoke. What is it that you want? As I know you are not doing this for free, tell me what do you want in return? Niklaus. You see, we just came to your town just recently and we would like you to know and also hope if you could accommodate our stay here. Niklaus said with a smile when he talked to the governor, which made the butler even more afraid as he knew that they were not ordinary. Who do you think you are? How dare you come to my town and tell me what to do? Why am I even talking to you? Guards. The governor screamed for the guards when Elijah sighed. Elijah. Sigh. I told you we should just compel him and get over with it. The butler saw their calm expression and suspected that they were about to see a frightening scene. Viktor. Sigh. Not everything should be about compulsion, Elijah. We don't want a mindless puppet, who do not have a choice but to do anything you tell him to do. Sometimes, we need to use another methods. Let me show you how fear can make someone completely obedient, Viktor said as he heard the sound of people running in their direction. Not long after, they were surrounded by guards with their weapons drawn pointing to them. Get rid of these fools and find the rest of the outsiders and get rid of them too, the governor said to the guards as they advanced to the three intruders. Viktor. Sometimes, you should get rid of some pests to make the other ants summit willingly, Viktor said as he controlled the shadow under the guards advancing towards them as it pierced them, ripping their elves in the process. The governor, the butler and the rest of the maids and guards were terrified when they saw this scene before their eyes. What is the meaning of this? Who are you people? What is it that you want? The governor became so terrified that he asked series of questions. Niklaus. You are right, brother. Look how he is willing to listen to us now. Elijah. Sigh. I guess you've had your fun, right? If so, then let's continue with why we are here, Elijah said as he knew Viktor's antics, which is to instill fear in people so that they will be willing to do his bidding as he finds compulsion boring. Niklaus. Ha, Elijah, you are no fun at all. So governor, what do you say about our stay here? You can stay here. In fact, I have a free house that you can use. I can have my maids clean it for you and also assist you in your daily lives. The tone of the governor changed drastically compared to his arrogant tone before. Elijah. Thank you. But before that, Elijah compelled the maids as well as the guards to forget what happened here. He wanted to compel the butler, but Viktor stopped him, saying that the butler can help put the governor in check. Elijah. Thank you once again. We will be staying here tonight, so you can order your maids to take care of the cleaning tonight, or is that going to be a problem? No, sir. In fact, you are very much welcome. Viktor. Good. Didn't I tell you? Elijah. Look how obedient he is. By the way, what is your name? Frederick Romilly, sir. Viktor. Frederick. Nice name, Viktor said as he joined his brothers as they find different rooms to stay. Viktor. We are now in New Orleans. I wonder how events will turn out from here. Chapter 31 Life in New Orleans Extra Chapter 2 Halves Life in New Orleans have been really smooth for the Mikaelson over the years as they integrated with the general population of New Orleans. Cole became a mentor to the witches as he found it fun to do so, while Freya did not partake in it as she studied her magic codex looking for more advanced magic to learn with Ketsia. The rest of the Mikaelsons were living their lives to the fullest. There were some run-ins with the werewolves, but they were quickly put in their place by Niklaus and Viktor as they showed them who the superior werewolves were. The previous governor of New Orleans has died and a new one was reinstated by the Mikaelsons, who became a major power in the political affairs of New Orleans. The new governor knew about them and also begged them to turn him into one, but Viktor refused as they don't need him, but that didn't give the new governor even the slightest chance of betraying them. Viktor and Cole even finally completed the cloning technique as they used blood as the power behind and not magical power, which means all the Mikaelsons can use it, including Freya, as she can never die, so she could use her blood when casting the technique. The clone technique has a limitation compared to its counterpart from the anime. After many years of trial and error, Viktor finally limited it to one clone per use, as that will completely offset the balance of the world. Even at that, there were also benefits. The clones that they created cannot be destroyed by one hit. In fact, no normal individuals can even dream of injuring it, talk less of completely destroy it. Only powerful beings like the Mikaelsons can completely destroy their clones. Elsewhere, Cole. Sigh. I remembered when I first came to New Orleans. Your elders tried to fry my brain, but they couldn't. But now look at you all, coming to me for guidance. How ironic. Cole said as he reminiscent about his first time in New Orleans, when he and Freya came to introduce themselves to the witch community as fellow practitioners of magic, but what they got was an attack by the witches. That wasn't their fault. They heard a lot about you Mikaelsons as demons who hunt the nights, leaving disasters everywhere you go, so that was the reason they attacked you, when you introduced yourselves. Cole. Ha ha ha, I like you. You are brave to be able to talk back to me. What is your name, child? Cole asked the girl who just talked right now. She is a very beautiful and gorgeous young woman in her late teens. She has blue eyes, full lips, rosy cheeks, lightly tanned skin and long, dark brown hair worn in loose waves. She stands at 5 feet 3 inches and her frame is slim and petite. If Viktor was here, he would said she is the perfect copy of a certain harvest witch. My name is Beatrice Clare, sir. Cole laughs at the way she addressed him right compared to when she supported her coven elders. Cole. Beatrice Clare. What about I teach you a special kind of magic after now? Beatrice nodded as she could finally learn some spells from the renowned god of magic, a title given to him by the coven elders, but Cole always refuted that title as he did not deserve it and told the elders that he was not even close to his sister in terms of magic based on her magical power and the magic codex in her head. Of course he did not tell them about the magic codex part. He also told them that even his elder brother Viktor was more of a witch than him, but the elders just based it off as Cole being modest as they never saw the others performing magic. Elsewhere, Ketsia. I wish there will be days like this. How nice it would have been. Viktor. Pretty nice and tiring. Ketsia. Haha. You are not romantic at all. Viktor. Come on, how can you say that? Do you forget? I won your heart with my romantic nature. Ketsia rolled her eyes at Viktor as she continued. Ketsia. Oh please, if you would have been able to win my heart on our first meeting, but it took you centuries to be able to do that. Viktor smiled as he remained their first meeting and how she pays a mark on him as a leverage for their deal, which he made her give it to him again as that was a massive source of magical power. Of course without the pain-inflicting effect, he wasn't a masochist. He was in his thought when he heard Ketsia words which made him pause in his tracks. Ketsia. Say, what do you say about me being pregnant and having your child? Viktor. What did you just say? Ketsia looked at him with an opened eye as she repeated what she said, which made Viktor ask her if she is pregnant or showed any symptoms of pregnancy, which she said no, which made Viktor sigh in relief as he was not ready to be a father yet. Not until he goes to Mystic Falls, as he does not want his child to travel about like him, until they are up to a certain age, as that was his daily life back on his home world, where he traveled from his father's side to his mother's side, not staying at a particular place for long. Ketsia. Why don't you want one? Viktor. I do, it's just that I'm not ready yet. Ketsia nodded as there is a possibility that what she planned will happen as she has already prepared a spell for that as she believed the Mikaelsons to not be able to produce offsprings of their own as they were dead. What she did not know was that, Viktor and Niklaus, even the current originals are different from their TV series counterparts, heck even Viktor, do not even know about that. Viktor. I wonder if there is any way for them to get pregnant without the use of magic. Brat. It's been centuries, haven't it? Well, the answer to your question is that all your siblings are fertile, as you can all conceive your own children, but the chances of that happening is 1 in 1,000, like the dragons you used to read about in your web novels as they are powerful creatures, their reproduction rate were low, so are you and your siblings now, so good luck, till next time. Viktor. Damn it, I hate it when he does that, but I have to admit, he is friendly with me, is it that I'm keeping him entertained here, that's why. Damn it. I'm going to demand compensation, the next time he speaks to me, as I know he will never reply me now satisfied with the answer he got. Viktor held Ketsia's hands as they disappeared from their location. Chapter 32 Looking for the girl on the painting elsewhere Andre. We've been looking for the girl on this painting and we have not had any progress so far. Are you sure this is not a test just to test your patience? Cause if it is, then I will have to grade you as pass. Katerina. Will you just shut up for once? I'm trying to think here. Andre. Look here, I'm just stating facts here. The girl might not even exist as we speak. I will have to call it a quit. Andre and Katerina had been traveling everywhere searching for the girl on the painting and they have not even made a significant progress. Katerina. Sigh. You talk too much, but you do make a point. I guess only one way to find out. Andre. What way? Going back to him. If is that, then I'm down with you. Katerina just ignored Andre as she has gotten quite used to his talks once he becomes frustrated with something. Katerina vamped speed, disappearing from a current location leaving Andre even more frustrated. Andre. Sigh, there she goes again. Andre also joined her to God knows where. A few hours later Andre and Katerina arrived in a bustling town. It appears that a festival or an event is being held by the townspeople, as they could see people dancing on the streets and some people selling things and also buying stuffs. Andre. What are we doing here from the atmosphere? I bet the Mikaelsons are even here. Andre said as he could smell the fresh air of the town and if the Mikaelsons were here, he would have no, as the air will be polluted the metallic scent of blood. Katerina. Just shut it and follow me. Katerina said as she swerved through the crowd until she came to a store that seems to sell enchanted items. Katerina walked to the door and entered as well as Andre. Andre, all these items are fakes. I can't feel any magic in them. What are we doing in a crook's store? Katerina. Hello, anyone here? Katerina called out hoping for whoever that was inside to answer her. Andre, you know I can hear your heartbeat, right? Andre said as he wasn't ready for another cat and mouse game anymore as that was what he had been doing for the past years. What do you want? I have many ways to kill you. Bloodsuckers. Andre just smiled at the young woman who came out of her hiding as she was speaking boldly of having ways to kill them. Even he does not know how he will be able to die as even the normal ways vampires die does not attribute to him. Andre. I will like to see you try. Also I'm curious of your many methods in killing vampires. Maybe I can learn 1 or 2 things from there. Katerina. Nice try. If you are looking for a way to kill the originals, then you in for a hell of a drive. Andre had that thought crossed past his mind but he quickly discarded it as a fool's plan. Let's say that he finally have the weapon to kill the Mikaelsons, then how is he going to confront them to even use the weapon, so that was a big no to him. I won't ask again. Who are you and why are you here? Answer me. Katerina. Fierce, but that won't be necessary. Which, I just need your help with a little location spell. You see we are looking for someone and we lost track of the person's location, so we came to you for help. Andre looked at Katerina in a dumb way. What does she mean by coming here when she could just go to the bloody original family and Viola, all their problems are solved? Is she that loyal to Viktor that she is strictly following his instruction without defiance? I can't help you. You will have to excuse yourselves. When Andre heard that, all the playfulness on his face disappeared and he became serious, as he vamped speed outside and came with a male human held by his neck raised up. Andre. Listen here, little witch, since you refuse to listen to reason, then I have to use threat to get you to do what we want. Right, let me tell you this. I have had it up to my neck level with all bullshit and I can't take it anymore. I have been on this mission for years and I haven't even seen the one who gave us this damn mission, which is frustrating. Seeing as you think you are our only resort, then you are wrong. There are many witches out there we could meet and they might gladly help us, but since we are here, then you must help us or else I am going to paint this town red and all their blood will be on your head. So little witch, which one will you choose? Your stupid ego or the humans outside? Your time is ticking. Andre poured out all his frustration on the witch, whom was biting her lower lips as she was in a dilemma. Andre reminded her that she was on a timer and she might be running out of time as he tightened his grip on the young man's neck. Stop. Stop it. I will help you, but you have to promise me something. Andre wanted to remind her about her current situation as she was not in any way in the moment to be making demands, but Katerina stopped him. Katerina. Go on. We are listening. You will never step foot in my town ever again after today. Katerina. You got yourself a deal. Andre signed at that, but he did nothing as he just wanted to find the girl and be done with. The witch prepared everything she needed as she also took the painting from Katerina and began the location spell, but nothing came up. I can't seem to find anything, and it does not appear to be a cloaking spell that is preventing me from finding, but it as if she doesn't exist. What is going on here? After Katerina heard her, that's when she remembered something Viktor told her about finding their next target in the 1800s. Katerina. Shit, I have made a mistake. If what you say is true, then I'm afraid that she hasn't been born yet. Chapter 33. Let's dance. Katerina. Shit, I have made a mistake. If what you say is true, then I'm afraid that she hasn't been born yet. Bam. Andre. What did you just say? Katerina turned to see Andre, who has shown his true face. She knew that he was going to go mad once he hears that, but she didn't know that it would reach this extent. Katerina. Hey, I know I was wrong here and I will take full responsibility for my action, but can you just calm down a little? Let's talk this out like normal people talking. Andre. Calm down. We wasted close to 50 years searching for someone that is not even born yet and you are telling me to calm down. What do you take me for? Katerina readied her dagger as Andre is not in his right frame of mind. Andre. You know, I won't let you use that dagger on me, right? Katerina didn't care as she was watching his every move, waiting for his attack. Andre rushed to Katerina, who also was ready for him as she blocked his attack, aiming at her stomach while trying to stab him, but he easily deflected it. Andre. I have to say, I find it annoying when fighting you. You are a very tricky vixen, Andre said as he broke a wooden chair in the store, making the witch shout. Hey, not that one, for fuck's sake, take your fight outside. Andre didn't mind her as he threw a wooden stake towards Katerina, who stepped aside the attack, but because of that she removed her eyes from Andre, giving him the chance to vamp speed to her and gave her a jab across the face, making her crash to a wall. Andre. I have to say, this dagger is something else. I can't seem to even lift it up. Sigh. Since I can't take it, then I won't let you get close to it. Andre said as after his successful attack, Katerina's dagger fell from her hands to the floor, but he could not even lift it up. Katerina. Sigh. Are you really going to go through with this? Andre. There is no harm in doing so. I just want to release my pent-up frustration and you happen to be the scapegoat. It's nothing personal, love. Andre said as he looked at Katerina with a crazed smile on his face. Hey, you do know that you are in my store, right? You have already done enough damage already. Can you please just go away from here? I'm begging you. Andre. Don't worry, little witch. She will compensate you for everything that is damaged, and also she will be assisting you here for a very long time, as I don't intend to leave here until the girl we are looking for is born. Andre said as a matter of fact, he did not care what deal Katerina and the witch made. That does not concern him, as he was not part of the deal. Katerina. All right then, let's dance. Katerina said as she had heard Viktor said this same phrase when he was sparring with his siblings. Andre smiled as he rushed at her as she also followed suit. An hour later, Andre. Ha, ha, damn it, she is like a slippery fox, Andre said as he looked at Katerina, who was staked to a wall. You killed her, just because of a small mistake. How heartless can you vampires be? Andre. Will you shut up, little witch? We are not your regular vampires that can die from just that. It didn't take long after Andre said that. Katerina woke up and removed the stake from her chest. Katerina. Are you satisfied now or should we continue? Because I can do this all day. Andre. I would love to indulge you, but I don't want to antagonize our little witch here. Andre said as he looked at the witch whose eyes were wide opened at what she just saw. A vampire surviving from a wooden stake through the heart. That was not what she knew. She has not heard of anything like that. What are you? Who are you people? You are not normal. Vampires. You should have died there. How are you still alive? All this doesn't make sense. The witch asked series of questions as she held her head as if she has gone mad. Andre. Hey, you should go talk to her. She might be going mad. Andre said as he stood up and went out of the store, leaving Katerina alone and the witch. Katerina sighed as Andre has left everything here for her to clean up. Katerina walked up to the little witch and held her, but the witch shook off her hold on her. Katerina. Sigh. I don't know what to say or how to explain all this, but all I can say now is we are not normal vampires. We are what you call first bloods. Just take us as a higher form of vampires, okay? Katerina tried to comfort the witch so that she won't think she is going crazy. I don't care anymore. Just leave, get out of my town and never come back again. The witch said as she was tired of all the craziness that happened today. Katerina. Sigh. I'm afraid that will not be possible right now. But we had a deal. Katerina. I know, but I don't think Andre will be willing to leave as he's still angry about everything, but you can help me with something. What is it? Katerina. Can you cast a divination spell and find out when she might be born? Sigh. Alright, but this will be the last thing I will do for you is, either you leave this town or I will leave. Katerina nodded her head as she does not care for anything except to find the girl and be done with it. The witch readied what she needed once again and cast a divination spell to know when the girl will be born. After a few minutes of chanting, the witch face changed as what she saw made her frown as what she was trying to avoid became her reality. Katerina. What happened? Why are you like that? The witch has no choice but to Katerina her findings. The girl will be born next month and she is born here, in this very town. Andre. Well, ain't that a pleasant surprise? I guess you will be accommodating us, little witch. They turned to see Andre who just came back from God knows where, standing in front of the door with a smile on his face. Chapter 34 Viktor meets the girl from the painting. It had been 21 years since Andre and Katerina lived in the town where the girl on the painting was born. They watched as the girl grew from a newborn to an adult and how her parents died when she was just 17 years old, leaving her and her little brother all by themselves. Katerina didn't want to interfere with her life, but Andre didn't even mind her and assisted the girl, even though he did it from the shadows, helping in any way he can. The witch store. Katerina. Sigh. I wonder if I should call him now. Katerina could be seen seated at a corner of the store while looking at the girl on the painting and how she resembled the grown-up child, 21 years ago. Who are you trying to call now? Katerina. The little witch, or should I say just witch, said as she was close to Katerina. Katerina. Whoa, you are here, Annie. Annie. The name of the witch who helped them during their stay in the town. Despite her refusals, just stared at Katerina with a deadpan look. Annie. I was sitting here for a long time while you zoned out, not even paying attention to your surrounding, which is not befitting of a vampire like you. Say, who are you trying to call here? I hope is not another one of your kind, because two of you are enough already. Katerina smiled at the little witch who has grown to become a beautiful woman. Katerina. That would have been better for you, but what I'm trying to call is more of a nightmare compared to Andre. If you think Andre is a demon, then the one I'm trying to reach out is the devil himself. Annie shuddered when she saw Katerina smile as she wondered who could that be. During Katerina and Andre's stay here, she has come to a conclusion that Andre is a vampire nobody would want to offend. Even Katerina only has a leverage against him because of her dagger, or so she believes, but now, Katerina is saying there is someone much more dangerous than him. She couldn't allow him to come here. Annie. Whatever you do, don't let him come here. I appreciate everything you've done so far, by keeping the peace in the town, but please don't disrupt that peace by calling someone more dangerous here. Ha 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 ha. Katerina laughed out loud when she sensed the fear in Annie's voice. Katerina. Don't worry, he won't cause any havoc. In fact, he is more tolerable than any of the vampires I know. Katerina said as she was talking about the original family. Andre. Do you intend to call him? How are you going to do that? As far as I know, we cannot leave the girl here, so are we going to take her with us? Katerina smiled as she held her dagger and played with it before she looked at Andre and threw it at him, which he dodged and looked at Katerina with fury with his eyes. Andre. What is the meaning of that? Katerina. Katerina just smiled, which made Andre even more angry that he moved to attack her but froze in his track, as he heard a voice of someone whom he had not heard for a long time. He turned to see the man himself smiling at him, the one who turned him, the one whom he acted as for centuries, Viktor fucking Mikaelson. Viktor. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise, Andre? Long time no see. Andre stared at Viktor. He wanted to attack him, rip him to pieces, but he knew, it was a futile effort as he will just be handing his ass to be whooped. Andre. Yeah, it is, after you turned me and compelled me to be you for centuries. I suppose, I will call it a long time. Annie, who was still in the room, has her eyes wide opened, as she heard the conversion between Viktor and Andre. It seems like they have known each for so long, and this Viktor seemed to be the one who sired Andre, and from what she heard just now, this Viktor is so strong that he was able to compel Andre, who was also a vampire. Just what is her world turning into? A vampire able to compel another vampire whom is so strong that he destroyed what she knew about vampires. Just who is this new vampire? Viktor looked at the other party present here with them. Viktor. A witch, and not just any witch, but a strong witch. I'm assuming, she is the one who helped in your little quest. Andre scoffed at Viktor when he said that. Little quest. Andre. If you call spending 50 years searching for someone that do not exist a little quest, then I wonder what will be a major quest to you, Katerina. Sigh. He is still bitter at something I did, but no need to worry about it, as Annie here helped us splendidly. Viktor didn't even regard Andre's word and looked at Annie and said, Viktor. We haven't been officially introduced. My name is Viktor Mikaelson, one of the first vampires to ever walk the earth. Viktor said with a smile as he saw the effects he was looking for, fear and surprise about what was never known before. Viktor continued as Annie was out of words to say. Viktor. Seeing as I'm here, I suppose, you have found her, right? Katerina replied as she recounted everything that happened since she left England, which made Viktor sigh. He just asked a question and not for her to tell him her life history. Viktor looked at Andre and said, Viktor. You and I have some talking to do after this. Andre was slightly afraid because of the way Viktor spoke to him just now. Viktor. Tell me where I will find her. They directed him to the girl's location, which he vamped speed to. Viktor appeared in an old-looking house but was not in a bad shape or anything thanks to Andre's help, but when one see it, they will know that the house has a history. Viktor knocked at the door, which was opened by a very beautiful woman. She had long blonde wavy hair. She was tanned and had hazel green eyes. She was also tall and had a curvy figure. Viktor smiled when he saw her come out. She was just like how he remembered her in the series. She was breathtaking. What do you want, sir? Viktor. You are what I want. Alexia. Chapter 35. Alexia, Lexi, Branson. What do you want, sir? Viktor. You are what I want. Alexia. The girl whom name is Alexia, Lexi for short, was a little afraid of the man before her. Lexi. What do you want from me, sir? Viktor. Please, my name is Viktor Mikaelson. Stop with all that sir thing. Lexi nodded, but she still didn't open the door for him. Viktor looked at her a little surprised as she didn't portray the confidence and boldness she possessed in the series, or is it something she built up along the way? Whatever, she is who he wanted to find. To say the truth, Viktor has been fascinated by Lexi's character from the series, and when he was reborn, he wanted her as his woman, but along the way Ketsia came and she grew on him as the years passed, but he still had that burning desire to have Lexi as his woman. He did not like a polygamous relationship, but as someone who was a big fan of Lucifer, he has to follow what the devil himself said about desires. Give in to your desires. He decided to make Lexi his, but he did not know how to explain it to Ketsia for her to understand, but he knows he have to. Viktor. You don't have to be afraid of me. It just that, I was passing through the town when I happened to see you and I was instantly drawn to you. I know I may sound insane or something, but I think I might have fallen for you, Miss Alexia. Lexi just looked at the man before her and wondered what was wrong with his head to just confess to someone he have never met before. Lexi. I'm sorry, but I can't reciprocate your feelings for you, so you will have to excuse me, Lexi said as she closed the door on him, which made Viktor smiled and wanted to turn around and leave, but he stopped when he heard someone fall. He rushed into Lexi's home and saw her lying on the floor when a boy of 8 years old rushed out from one of the rooms who bore similarities to Lexi. Viktor knew Lexi had a younger brother but died when the people of this town set fire on their house because Lexi didn't age a second after she became to a vampire. Viktor, I presume you are her brother, right? Viktor asked as he wanted to confirm his conjecture. The boy nodded his head as he was too uncomfortable talking to strangers. Viktor carried Lexi from the ground and took her to one of the rooms in the house. Viktor, when did she start falling down like this? Viktor said in a way he would understand him. Since a month ago, the little boy said. Viktor sighed as he remembered he read something about Niklaus turning Lexi into a vampire because she wanted to live for her brother, but he didn't know what led to that. Viktor. Maybe because she was sick and she had to take Niklaus' offer to be a vampire so that she could survive, so that her brother would not be alone, but her brother still died in the end. Viktor looked at the boy who was on the verge of tears as he sighed and looked at Lexi. Viktor. I didn't think I would have to turn her on the first day of meeting her. Well, what's happened has happened, Viktor. Don't worry, nothing will happen to your sister. Not on my watch. The boy looked at the stranger with curiosity before he averted his gaze from him and back to his sister. A few hours later, Lexi's eyes flickered as she was trying to open her eyes. After a few attempts, she finally managed to open her eyes and found herself lying in a bed she has no idea of getting on. She wondered how she got here when she heard a man's voice in the room. Viktor. Welcome back to the land of the living. Love. Lexi got up from the bed and looked around and saw the man that was talking to her before she blacked out and also her little brother, whom she immediately went to embrace. Lexi, what are you still doing here? Viktor. Come on, love, is that the thank you I get for taking care of you? Viktor said as he acted a little hurt, which appeared convincing for Lexi because of his max level in his acting skills. Lexi. Thank you, Lexi said as she was embarrassed by her outburst to her savior. Viktor. No worries, love, I think you should send your brother away for what I'm about to tell you. Viktor said as he wanted to tell her what's happening to her and also a way out. Lexi agreed as she sent her brother to his room. Lexi. Now we are alone, what do you want to talk about? Viktor. Sigh. You are dying, Alexia. Viktor went straight to the point and told her about her health condition, but he didn't get the reaction he was expecting from her. Viktor. You knew you were dying and you didn't even care to tell Andre about it. Viktor said as he was getting a little angry at her recklessness. If she had told Andre, he would have been here long ago. What if Katerina didn't call him over? That's how she would have died and he wouldn't even know about it. All these years of searching for her would have been in vain. Lexi was a little surprised as Viktor knew Andre, her benefactor, the one who has been helping her in the shadows. She always thought of him as a mysterious guy and now someone else knows about him. Lexi. You know Andre. Viktor. Of course, I know him. He is one of my people and I know he has been helping you since the death of your parents. Lexi. It wouldn't have still mattered as I would have died anyway. Viktor. Who told you that you would die? Well, at least not when I'm here. Listen to what I'm about to say. Viktor said as he told her everything about vampires and werewolves and also a bunch of other supernaturals. After he was done, he laid down her options. Either take his bite willingly and become a hybrid like Katerina or he compels her to take it. Her choice, because he is not going to let her die. Not when he has come these far. Lexi pondered on the pros and cons and the pros outweigh the cons. In fact, from Viktor's explanation, she has no cons if she was turned by him and also she would live for her brother, so she made up her mind and said. Lexi. I accept, make me like you. Viktor smiled as his hybrid true face appeared. Viktor. I won't lie, this is going to hurt a lot. Chapter 36 The Last Wish. The merge. Viktor looked at Lexi as she lay there dead and was in a deep thought when he heard a familiar voice. Hey brat, are you thinking of taking her in as your woman? If so, you have to remember who you are currently in a relationship with. Viktor. I know, even I am considering my options now. Should I just compel Lexi and make her forget what I said earlier and move on with her life? Sigh. I can help you with that, just take it as a compensation for keeping me entertained. You are doing a good job. Also, I will advise to use your last wish to acquire the knowledge from the TVD book series, and I know that you won't stay long in Mystic Falls, as soon as Haley is confirmed pregnant, you would go to New Orleans. Don't worry, as I will compensate you for that. The reason for why I asked you to do that is because you have drawn the attention of other beings. WHO would try to merge the two worlds together as a means to find a way to kill you, and you might find that knowledge valuable. Viktor. Are these beings stronger than you? Ha ha ha. They are not even close. I just wanted you to be prepared, and as a compensation I will grant you an omniversal magic codex. Viktor pondered on the deal, and it was in his favor, so he decided to go with it, as he did not even know what to do with the wish anymore. Viktor. Okay. Use it. I have nothing to lose anyway. Good. It is done, and heads up. Some weapons would be made when the merging of the worlds is completed as a means to kill you, but as I said before, they are not even close to me, and in a few millennium, you all might even reach their power levels, so the weapon will just be like the daggers in the series, which will just put you Mikaelsons to sleep. Viktor. Sigh. I will have to gather that weapon as soon as it is made and find a way to get rid of it. I don't want that weapon to be made known to the supernatural world, even if it won't kill us. That's for you to figure out. I'm out. You would receive a little headache due to the influx of information. Goodbye, Gore now. Viktor winced in pain as he felt massive information poured into his head as he fell down on one knee when Andre came to support him. Andre. Hey, are you okay? What happened? Viktor. Is nothing. What were you doing here? Viktor asked as he wanted to ask how Andre came to help him when he should be at the witch's store. Andre. I was just taking a stroll when I passed through here and decided to check on you when you fell down. Viktor. Sigh. Forget it. Since you are here, then take care of Lexi for me and make sure she completes her transition to a hybrid before I get back, after which we would be going back to New Orleans, Viktor said as he teleported from Lexi's home to dense forest and looked through the information he just received. Viktor. Sigh. Why is this even happening in the first place? Everything in the book series is largely different from the TV series, but good thing that it's just the powers and some abilities from the book series, and also those pesky angels, guardians, original wolves pack and demons, also the devil and some other creatures when the merge happen. Sigh. I don't know why, but I am kinda getting excited just thinking about the possibilities of future events. Viktor wondered about the future possibilities when he felt a massive surge of energy flowing in his body. His eyes changed from red to reddish purple, signifying his evolution from an ordinary werewolf to an original werewolf, and also the energy that vampires utilized in the book series, power, which made them capable of even flying. Viktor. I guess the merging has began, and I wonder when it will be completed. New Orleans, the abattoir. Niklaus. You all felt it right. Elijah. Yes, and I don't think we are the only ones. Cole. Whatever is happening, I suspect the entire supernatural world is experiencing this, Cole said as he looked at the direction of the witch community. Freya. I think my magic codex is having new spells added to it. Rebecca. What in the world is happening? Henrik. Whatever that is happening, I hope it is for the best. All the Mikaelsons gathered together as they contemplated about the future. Ketsia sat by the window and started wondering if what is happening has something to do with Viktor, as it wasn't too long that he left, that all this started happening, and if he has something to do with it, she hopes he is alright. Finn, seeing Ketsia like that, walked up to her. Finn. Don't worry about Viktor, if anything he is the one who should be worried about you. You know, Viktor is the strongest of us all, even if he never shows it or admits it. We all know what he is capable of. Ketsia. Thank you. I was just worried as his woman. Finn nodded as he and she joined the rest. Back to Viktor. Viktor finished absorbing all the information he got and was surprised at the ridiculously powers and abilities of everyone in the book series. The originals weren't mentioned, but the first vampires were referred to as the Old Ones. The Mikaelsons were never a family, and the Old Ones' origins were never disclosed, but what he knew was that they were older than the current Mikaelsons. The werewolves also has their counterparts known as the original werewolves, which he is currently one of, and presumably Niklaus. Also, the werewolves from the books can turn humans into a werewolf through biting, which was already introduced, and through impregnating a woman. How ridiculous does that sound? And that's how Caroline became a werewolf in the books, as Tyler was the one who knocked her up, unlike her TV counterpart who was a vampire. Then there is these dark dimension thing and the creatures who resides in them, which are the angels and guardians, dragons, druids, ghost, spirit, kitsune, phantoms, psychics and sirens. Viktor. What are they even trying to achieve by doing all these? They are just making more damage than what they are trying to prevent. Stupid gods. Sigh. Let me just check my current stats first. Status name. Viktor Mikaelson. Title. Reincarnator. The strongest Mikaelson. Original vampire. Vampire progenitor. Age. 736 species. Original Tribrid, Vampire plus Werewolf plus Witch, skills 10 times learning speed sword fighting LVL max hunting LVL max hand-to-hand combat LVL max acting LVL max blood manipulation LVL max shadow manipulation LVL max illusion casting LVL max flying thunder god LVL max magic combat LVL max blood clone LVL max abilities werewolf transformation partial werewolf transformation fear inducement magic siphoning mind compulsion weather control animal control healing factor immortality super senses shape shifting super speed super strength super stamina flight telepathy telekinesis dream manipulation omniversal magic codex. The host has knowledge about magic across the omniverse and can use them regardless of the world's will profession doctor grandmaster teacher grandmaster author grandmaster architect grandmaster blacksmith grandmaster perks 5 times increase in strength every 10 years. Creed tab Andre Devereaux Katerina Petrova Alexia Branson Victor. I guess Lexi is done with her transition, it's to go back to New Orleans and possibly Mystic Falls as Stefan might be born a little earlier than intended, Victor said as he went to Lexi's home. Chapter 37 Governor's Birthday New Orleans Niklaus. Welcome back brother. How was your trip? Ah. I see Katerina. You are also back. Niklaus walked up to Victor who has just arrived with the rest of his creeds and Lexi's little brother. Victor. Yes, brother. Where are the rest? Niklaus. Oh that. They have gone to the birthday party of the governor and I was just on my way there too before I bumped into you. Victor looked at Niklaus' dress and remembered when he killed the son of the governor when he tried to court Rebecca but Niklaus refused which made him talk to Niklaus rudely which led to his death. During the governor's son burial, Niklaus met Marcel and that was how he took the little boy in. Victor remembered everything but he knew it should not be the time for that as they were still in the middle of the 1700s which made him sure that it was due to the merger and somethings are going to be different. Don't worry. The reason why Marcel was even born now is because Stefan and Damon should have already been born by now in the books and Marcel was never in the books, but due to the merger and Marcel was older than Stefan and Damon, he had to be introduced early, but both the TVD book series and TV shows began in the 21st century. So there won't be major change anymore after this. Victor was relieved and thanked God for the information and face Niklaus. Victor. Can you wait a little so that we can get prepared? Niklaus. No problem, brother. Victor turned to the rest and said. Victor. Katerina, you should go to Rebecca's room, you might find a nice dress for both you and Lexi, and you. Andre. Before Victor could finish his sentence, Andre interrupted him. Andre. Don't bother, I won't be going. I will just stay here and wait for you guys. Victor nodded and said. Andre. If you say so, you should take care of little Alex here, since he won't be attending the event. Lexi wanted to interject but Victor stopped her and said that she need a little exposure in her life once in a while. After that he left to change his clothes leaving Niklaus and Andre with the kid. Niklaus. Now I know why you look familiar. You are Andre Devereaux, one of the first vampires we all turned, right, Andre? Yes, I am among the ones you first turned and compelled to live like you for centuries. Niklaus. Ah. I see. You are still bitter about that, but there is nothing you can do to get your revenge, so I will advise to let it go and let bygones be bygones. I don't want to kill someone I have never seen in centuries after I meet him. Can I? And speaking of which, how about the rest of your cohorts? Andre should have been angry by what Niklaus said but he knew that no matter what how angry he is, he will never be able to even touch a single hair on his head, so he just had to swallow it and follow what he said by letting bygones be bygones. Andre. Oh. They are fine and also pissed and I should also tell you this since you and her had some history together. Aurora has some of her screws unknotted. Niklaus' face changed as he never wanted to hear the name of that woman ever again. Niklaus. If you don't know, let me tell you this, don't you ever in your undead life call that woman's name in my present ever again or I will make your life a living hell. Niklaus said before storming out of the abattoir. A few minutes later Victor came out and asked about Niklaus as he didn't see him, to which Andre told him that Niklaus should be outside waiting for them, so he went to him. Victor. Why are you upset, brother? Victor asked as he saw his brother in a foul mood. Niklaus. Nothing brother, I'm just remained of something, that's all. Victor looked at his brother for some time observing him before he knew why he was like this. Victor. Damn, that Andre. Why did he have to talk about her in his present? Victor just kept quiet and waited for the ladies that came out not too long after. Victor. I have to say, I didn't think about this when I told you to wear Rebecca's clothes, but she is literally going to kill the both of you, Viktor said as he began to head to the event with an already pissed off Niklaus. The governor's resident Elijah. What is taking Niklaus so long? Cole. What else if not to show off? The siblings laughed at that before they saw 4 people coming their way. Cole. Oh, look who's back. How was your trip, brother? Viktor. Not going to lie, it was not what I was expecting, but everything was still better than expected. Cole. Tell me about it. Every supernatural being received an upgrade earlier today, and Freya's magic codex also received an upgrade. Today was really crazy. Cole narrated their experience to Viktor, who just looked at Cole as if he was listening to him. Rebecca. Bloody hell, are that not my dress on cat, and who is this blondie? The siblings turned to see their sister with the governor's son holding hands like love-struck fools. Rebecca. I will get back to that, but now let me do what I came here to do. She looked at her lover with a smile before turning to her siblings. Rebecca. Can I turn him into one of us? Elijah. We can't do that. The governor is already frightened by our existence, and you think he will be happy if his son was to become like us? Elijah said as he knew the governor might do to his son what their parents did to them, creating rift in their family, and it will be their fault if it were to happen to the lover boy. Rebecca didn't like that answer and still pestered her siblings until Niklaus, whose mood was already sour from his earlier conversation with Andre, said, Niklaus, Rebecca, if we were to turn every one of your lovers to vampires, we wouldn't have anything to eat, so just let it be. The foolish boy who did not know the difference between heaven and earth spoke to the moody hybrid. You will not speak to your sister that way. That's not a proper way to treat a lady. Cole. Whoa, I like your courage, boy, but you should know how to respect your elders. Cole didn't even have the time to even complete what was on his mind before they saw the governor's son flew from the balcony and landed on the ground floor, ending his life and marking the end of the governor's birthday party. Cole. At least, you should have let me finish before you did that. Chapter 38. Stefan and Damon. Esther. Pregnancy. Niklaus. We are sorry for your loss, Governor. Niklaus paid his condolences to the unsuspecting governor. Cole. He was a bright and promising young man, but death took him away, and he also had to leave my sister behind all by herself to grieve his death. Sigh. What an unfair world. Viktor. Enough, Cole. You do know that she is not in her right state of mind right now. Viktor used the telepathic link between them to speak to Cole. Cole. All right, I was just trying to lighten up the mood. Geez, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. The governor said as he walked away and prepared to bury his son. Freya. He is taking it pretty well for someone who lost his son. Viktor. What do you expect from power-hungry men? They are more vampires than we even are. Viktor said as he looked around as they were walking to the cemetery, trying to find the little slave boy, the governor's bastard son. Elijah. You said you will be leaving after the burial. Viktor. Elijah said as Viktor has already told them about his departure to Mystic Falls. Rebecca. Brother, you must take me with you. I can't stay here anymore. Viktor. I would have loved to, but I can't. I only intend to take Cole and Freya with me. Don't worry. I will make it up to you when we get back. Viktor said as he did not want to destroy a possible love story. Niklaus. I'm still saying this, brother. You all can't just go away. Who will we turn to when we need someone to cast spells for us? Niklaus, trying to find a reason for them not to leave, said. Cole. Come on, Nick. If you want an excuse for us to stay, you should find a better one. As you all know, the witches here will be more than happy to help you. Niklaus. What do they do? No, they are not even novice when compared to you. Niklaus countered back. Elijah. Enough with all this nonsense, Niklaus. Let them be. After all, we have enough time to meet again, so we should give them a break. Also, father isn't always with us. Why does it not bother you, Niklaus? Why should I care about him? Niklaus just ignored his brother and started walking faster to slow down when he saw a little boy, who has dark skin and a low cut, being whipped. The boy drew the attention of the hybrid because he was in pain, but he never showed it and instead picked up an apple and threw it at his punisher. The man whose apple was thrown at was angry and decided to increase the force of his whip and strike the little slave boy with when Niklaus vamped speed and picked a stone and threw it at the punisher's head, achieving a headshot. Niklaus walked to the boy while his siblings watched him. Niklaus. What is your name? The slave boy, who appeared to be unperturbed by the death of someone just now, spoke. Don't got one. Mama wouldn't name me till I was 10, afraid that the fever will take me, but it took her first. Niklaus looked at the young boy and saw himself in him. Niklaus, you are a survivor, and survivors deserve a name. Niklaus looked at him, looking for a name befitting of him. Niklaus, what about Marcellus? Marcellus, Niklaus, comes from Mars, the god of war, and it means little warrior. Niklaus said as he stood up and stretched forth his hands to the slave boy now named Marcellus. The boy looked around him before he accepted Niklaus's hands. The Mikaelsons looked at their brother, especially Rebecca, who wondered if this was her brother. Henrik, that's a first ever since we turned. The siblings smile as they watch their brother, who was also smiling as he looked at the boy. The next day, Viktor. This is it. We will meet again very soon, brother, so don't be down. Viktor said as Ketsia, Cole and Freya with the rest of the Creed members behind him. Niklaus, you can go, leave before I change my mind, and don't worry, Blondie. I will take care of little Alex alongside Marcellus, Niklaus said as he held both Alex and Marcel with him like a loving father. Viktor, Ketsia, Cole and Freya said their goodbyes to their siblings before leaving New Orleans. Year 1785, Mystic Falls. It's been 5 years since Viktor and the rest arrived in Mystic Falls and have integrated with the people there. Viktor has already seen Damon and has already interacted with the little boy. He even went to Giuseppe Salvatore, the father of Damon and Stefan Salvatore, as he became the tutor of the young Damon. 2 more years passed and Stefan was born, which made the family happy. That's how Viktor became a tutor and a master to the 2 Salvatore siblings. Freya and Cole was even wondering why they were even here in the first place, as Viktor didn't even bother to tell them anything, so they just lived their life in Mystic Falls like normal people do. 10 years later, Viktor. Mother. Viktor looked at the woman before him, a tall, slim and beautiful woman in her mid to late 40s, somewhere between 4,549. She has long natural blonde hair and brown eyes. Freya. Welcome back to the land of the living. Mother. Cole. Mother dearest, how is life on the other side? The 3 siblings look at their mother, who was looking at her children with joy in her eyes. Esther. I miss you, all of you, my children, and you also, my friend. Esther said as she looked at Ketsia, who was smiling at her. Ketsia. I thought you will never notice me. Esther. I would never forget you, my friend, or should I say daughter-in-law. Viktor. Ahem. Before you do all those things, there are few things that I would like you to know. 1. The only reason you are here right now is because of my promise to Rebecca. 2. You would have to earn my trust and the rest of us before we will acknowledge you as our mother again. And lastly, I placed a little spell on you to prevent you from using your magic. Viktor said as even though she can't do anything to him or his siblings, he didn't want to unnecessary complications. Esther. I will take anything you throw at me, my son. I will make sure to earn your trust and forgiveness, my lovely Freya and my boy. Cole. The family has now been finally complete, but that joy was short-lived as Ketsia fainted, but Viktor got to her before she could touch the ground and vamped speed to their resident, while Cole took Mother Mikaelson and teleported alongside Freya. A few moments later, Viktor could be seen checking Ketsia's vital point to try to figure out what happened to her when he Andre's voice. Andre. What is wrong with her? I thought she was an immortal, so why is she sick? Viktor, hearing Andre said that, calmed down as he tried to think what would make an immortal fall sick when Lexi spoke. Lexi. She is pregnant. Cole. What? How did you know that? Lexi. From her experience as a nurse and also using her enhanced hearing to pick up a second heartbeat coming from Ketsia, knew she was pregnant. Viktor also listened and found out the same thing and laughed out loud as he is going to be a father at last. Chapter 39, The Guardian. The Birth. Viktor. That's not how you throw a punch. Damon. Viktor could be seen guiding 2 brothers as they spar with one another. Damon. I'm trying. The older boy said. Viktor sighed as he proceeded to teach him how to properly fight with his hands. It has been 4 months since Ketsia was discovered to be pregnant, and Viktor, knowing the reason on why she fainted, decided to give her mark just like the one she did for him, but a bit different, by drawing all the magic in the air towards her, so that whenever the baby siphoned magic from her, she would be fine, as she will not be exhausted from lack of magic. Viktor had already killed Silas and also removed the curse the travelers placed on the doppelgangers of Silas and Amara. He decided to track down the rest of the travelers and finish them off, as well as taking Amara from them. He would have loved to kill her, but because of her link to the other side, He pardoned her as binding another person to be the archon of the other side as a curse rather than a blessing. So he sent Andre and Lexi to track down the travelers, bring back Amara as she looked exactly like Katerina, which he told them, and if possible, or if she is there with them, bring her with you, Nadia Petrova, the daughter of Katerina Petrova. He then sent Katerina to follow Lilian Salvatore as he knew she faked her death, so that when she finds the siphoners, she should let Cole know, so that he can make them heretics. For him, he only wants Malachi Parker as the heretic in his creed. Back to the present, Victor. That's better. Both of you should go wash up and take some rests. As the two brothers left, Victor turned and saw a familiar face. Victor. What brings you here, father? The man who Victor saw was naturally Michael, and standing behind him was Eric. Michael. I was just passing by when Eric said he smelt a familiar scent, so here we are, and I will like to ask you why you are here and the rest of your siblings aren't. Before Victor could reply, Cole appeared before them. Cole. I knew it. Hello, father. How was your trip? Michael ignored Cole's question and looked behind both his sons and saw two things that made him surprised. One, he saw his dead wife coming with the second thing that made him surprised, a pregnant Ketsia. Michael. What in the name of Odin is going on? Victor sighed as he sat Michael down and explained everything for him to get the gist of everything that transpired throughout the time he was away, which took almost 2 hours. Victor. That's everything that happened, and before I forget, Niklaus is asking for Eric to go back to New Orleans, Victor said, as Niklaus did not take it well when Michael took the boy whom he sired on some stupid adventure. Michael. I trained the boy. Cole. Well, he turned the boy, and I think he should go, as I don't see you going on any of your adventures anytime soon, Cole said, as he knew Michael would stay here in Mystic Falls. After all, this where it all started. Michael. All right, Eric will go back to New Orleans. Happy. The siblings didn't answer him as they just left the two parent Mikaelsons to catch up. Michael. Wife. Esther. Husband. Elsewhere. I can feel it. A firstborn is about to be born again. After all this years. Ha 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 ha. Esther, your plan failed. You think you turning your children into those monster will make them unable to bear children. I thought so too. But who would have thought that there is going to be such a miracle? Ha 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 ha. I will be coming for my prize and also take back what should have been mine before she ran away, said a woman who has brunette hair with brown eyes, which appeared cold as a testament to her cruel and apathetic nature. She bore a slight resemblance to Finn, Elijah, Cole, and Henrik. She wore different rings on her hands, an indicator for her love for rings with unique gemstones. You seem quite happy. What is the occasion all about? The brunette hair woman turned to the direction of the voice as she wondered how someone managed to get so close to her, without her sensing the presence of the person. Who are you and why are you here? Woman, relax. You are asking questions when I haven't even answered the first one. Not that I intend to anyway. So as to why I am here, well, we have mutual friends. We want to get rid of a woman with short blonde hair and blue eyes with thin build. If you don't tell me who you are, then forget about any dealings between the two of us. You see, I hate things that will make matters unnecessary, so I will tell you what I am, but not who I am. How about that? The brunette woman pondered on what the blonde said before she agreed. Okay, do tell. I am a guardian. We keep the balance of the world, but recently, we sense something strange going on and happen to find out that it has something to do with some group of vampires, known as the Old Ones, or some may call them the original family, and whatever is happening, we can't let that happen, so we have to get rid of them, but we can't come to your plane. Something or someone is restricting us from doing so. That's why I resort to this method. If not, I wouldn't bother with a weak mortal like you. A frown appeared on the brunette woman's as she didn't like it when the woman in front of her called her weak. Why don't you do it yourself then? Seeing as you are here talking to me, you should also do it yourself. What can a weak woman do for you? She said as she turned to leave, but stopped when she heard what the woman said next. I can help you with what you truly desire. Power, immortality, anything you need, will be given to you. All you have to do is just get rid of the old ones. What did you just say? You can do all that. The blonde nodded her head. The brunette pondered for a while as she has heard the tales of her sister's children, and to say that she can come out of a fight with them unscathed would be a lie. What she didn't know was that she wouldn't even to come out with her life intact. All right, you have to give me what you just said now before we can come to an agreement. Done. The blonde chanted something as a dagger appeared in her hand and a vial on her other hand which she gave to the brunette. This is what can help you stand a chance against them. I have to go as my time in this plane has elapsed. The blonde said as she started to fade away. Now I have another secret ace against your children, Esther, the brunette said as she started walking away. Elsewhere 5 months later. Wah, wah, wah. Cries of a baby was heard throughout the house as 3 men entered the room where the cry came from. These men were naturally Michael, Viktor and Cole as the women chased them out when Ketsia was about to put to bed. Viktor, mother, where is the baby and my wife? Esther smiled when she heard her son call her mother, but this isn't the time to be daydreaming, so she showed him where the mother and daughter pair laid. Esther, she is a girl. Viktor smiled as he walked to his daughter and wife. Viktor, shish, you safe, my princess, your father and mother is here, don't cry. How are you feeling? Love, Viktor carried the baby and coerced her as he turned to Ketsia and asked. Ketsia, I'm fine and it seems something happened to me as I feel more power coursing through my veins. Viktor just nodded as he knew that she has become a werewolf and her magic is still intact, so he was not worried as she said that. Michael, she was like you when you were born, curiosity filled those eyes of yours, Michael said as he remembered when Viktor and Niklaus were born. Viktor's eyes were just like this. As Viktor heard that, he became suspicious and had an idea of what was going on when he heard a voice which made him sure of what happened. You are right, she is a Reincarnator just like you. Chapter 40 Malia Mikaelson. Before Ketsia's delivery there laid a body that floats through the void lifelessly. The body seems to be that of a lady. She is a beautiful, tall, athletic and lean young woman who possessed a dark blonde hair. Nobody knew how long or when she was even in the void, even she did not know as she was asleep in the void. It's time to wake up, child. As soon as a voice sounded through the void, the lifeless body shook as the woman opened her black eyes as she wondered where she was when she felt a massive headache, which was caused by an influx of memories she knew and some foreign ones she had no idea of. Good. Now you are awake. I know you have a lot of questions and I will provide answer for all your questions as I am generous today. The voice once again said as it made the young woman look around trying to discern where the voice is coming from. Who are you, and where am I? You have to know I don't like anyone playing tricks on me, so stop with your theatrics before I find you and rip your body apart in the most painful way possible. Ha 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 ha. This is a first. Nobody has ever dared to say that to me and now a young soul is trying to rip me apart and to top it up, by making it in the most painful way possible. You have guts, Malia. The young woman's eyes widened for a brief second as she believed that for someone to manage in capturing her and trying to act mysterious must also know her name. Malia. I don't know how you know my name but I'm guessing you did your research about me so you must know that my pack will not rest until they find me and trust me. I will make you regret what you did. Sigh. I knew you would be like this, Malia. That's why I let a small portion of your soul to reincarnate in a normal world and made you a lover of web novels and movies, so look at your memories and you would know what happened to you. The voice spoke once girl making Malia silent as she also has memories that weren't hers but also hers at the same time because that was her in the memories. Malia. So you are someone who could manipulate memories, you think I would not find out about it, you think by giving me some fabricated memories, that I will drop my guard around you, you are joking. Malia said as she remembered Dalia did the same thing to Peter, messing with his memories. Sigh. You are a lost cause, I never intended to show you this, but you force my hands, child. The voice said again as a screen appeared before Malia and she saw a scene she prayed to never see again before she eventually succumbed to the embrace of Mother Death. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she finally realized that she is dead and the memories she reached was from a life she lived before now. One of the things she feared happened to her. She was abandoned and no one was here with her. Malia. So what now? I'm dead and I don't suppose this is hell or heaven from my last life. So what is this place? I would have loved to answer that but you have already wasted enough of my time. So we should go on to the next phase. Your reincarnation. I will be sending you to the world of the originals as the daughter of a Mikaelson. Malia hearing the voice remembered the TV show he was talking about as she loved watching it as well as Teen Wolf, Supernatural, Underworld and other mystical movies she could find. Malia. Funny thing is I just remembered, someone else played my character in Teen Wolf and I have to admit, she was a flop, she can never portray my character well enough, Malia said as she Remembered watching the Teen Wolf series and the person who played her character was a different person. Now it's not the time for that. Malia. Sorry, I was just caught in the moment. So you were saying something about being reborn in the originals as a child of a Mikaelson. Yes. Malia. I'll pass. And I suppose you won't send me back to my original world. So just send me to hell or heaven if it even exists or whatever, as I am not cut out for that shit. Always and forever. Malia said as she did not like how the originals ended. Elijah dying alongside his brother, because of some stupid oath or something, and the history behind the family, and if her guess is correct, then she would be born as Hope or a twin to Hope, as only Niklaus was able to impregnate a woman, and then the power-crazy aunt and manipulative mother. Nah, that family is full of dramas. What if I tell you that where I wanted to send you was an O? Would you still not want to go? Malia looked around her and knew that her fate was sealed and to be reincarnated in this O Originals world this being is talking about. Malia. There is no way out for me, right? The voice didn't reply as she took that as her answer. Malia. Sigh. Alright, I'll go. After all, that's why you sent me to my previous life. So what will I gain out of this? A loving family. Malia rolled her eyes as she knew that Mikaelson are always protective of their own, so she wanted something else out of this deal, but the voice beat her to it. If you are thinking about some cheats, then I will have to discourage you from your thought, as your new existence alone is a cheat in itself. Malia heard the voice said as she started fading from the void into her new life. She tried to say something, but even she could not hear her voice. Present time Malia. Where am I? I don't remember a scene like this from the show, and as I thought. Niklaus is my father. Sigh. Is he going to name me Hope now? God please. My name is Malia. Malia thought as she saw the man that held her and recognized him as the big bad wolf himself. But what made her even more surprised was the faces of people in the room with them. She saw Michael, Esther, Freya, Cole and Ketsia, who was laid down on the bed, as she smiled when she saw Niklaus with her. Malia. Don't tell me, this crazy witch is my mother. I am actually the daughter of two crazy people, Malia said, still thinking her father was Niklaus. She heard her father's voice, which made her happy as she wasn't named Hope. Viktor. Malia. Malia Mikaelson. That will be her name. Viktor said after hearing what God said. At first he didn't like the idea of having someone reincarnate as his child, but after much persuasion from God, he relented and looked at his daughter as he smiled and named her. Michael. You should have let me name my granddaughter. Boy. Let me carry her. When Malia heard what Michael said, she started crying as she did not know what the destroyer is planning on doing. Cole. Viktor. I guess your daughter really likes you very much to not go to father. Viktor smiled as he held her and looked at Michael with a smug look. Michael. She did not know anything better. That's why. Malia was shocked to find out that the man she thought to be Niklaus was not actually him, but a lookalike or twin or someone else. Malia. Things are about to become seriously complicated, Viktor. Don't worry. Nothing will get complicated. My princess. Malia was scared silly when she heard his voice in her head. Chapter 41 Dalia. After the birth of Malia, Viktor made a mind protection spell on Malia to prevent others from prying into her mind and finding out about something they weren't supposed to know. Also, Ketsia isn't a werewolf like everybody thought, but a were-coyote, which Viktor attributed to Malia as she is a were-coyote and not a werewolf. Previously, which she still was apparently. Freya has called her other siblings in New Orleans, on the behest of Viktor, as he was too busy to contact them with Malia around. Viktor has even made a protection spell around the house to protect Malia from his power-hungry and vengeful aunt, as he might not be around when she attacks, but he also made a failsafe as he cloaked Malia so that no magical spell could locate her. Esther. You know she is going to come for her, right? Viktor. Let her come. I will just have to give her the death she is running away from. Esther frowned from his words as she knew her sister wasn't like this to begin with. She turned out like this because of her selfishness. Esther cursed herself for everything that happened to her family. First she let her sister down, then betrayed her husband and turned against her children. It is like the world is telling her that she was not someone who should have family as the ones she had. She was the one to destroy them, so she vowed to find her sister to correct her mistake and make her family whole again, always and forever. Viktor looked at his mother and sighed as he knew what she was planning, and may God help her, as talking to Dalia is like talking to a rock. May God help when she talks to Dalia. If not, he did not mind adding another kill to his kill counts. Cole. What a surprising moment, and I hate to break it, but the ceremony is about to begin and Freya has gone to get our siblings. Cole said to Viktor before taking his leave. Viktor. You do you, but if she does not listen to you, I will have to handle it myself, Viktor said as he left Esther standing all by herself. Esther looked at Viktor's back as he left and sighed and decided to get ready also for the big night. A few hours later, Rebecca. Look who decided to show up. The man of the hour himself and his lovely wife and beautiful daughter. Rebecca said as she saw her brother, Viktor, with Ketsia and the new addition to the family, Malia Mikaelson. Niklaus. I have to say, you look happier than any other day I've seen you, brother. Also congratulations on your little wolf. Niklaus said as he flashed his badass smile to little Malia, who smiled back. Elijah. I see, she is already liking you, Niklaus. Niklaus. What's there not to like, brother? After all, I am her favorite uncle. Cole. Hold that thought. I have been with her for a week now. What makes you think you are her favorite? Elijah. Enough with all that. We are not here for that. We are here to celebrate her birth. Finn. He is right. Stop with your nonsense. Rebecca. While they are arguing about who is the favorite uncle and whatnots, can I carry my niece for a little bit? Rebecca said as she went to carry her niece. Rebecca. Isn't she adorable? Seeing her like this makes me want one of my own, Rebecca said as she saw how cute her little niece was. Esther. Seeing you all gather together brings me joy. My children. Elijah. Niklaus. Finn. Henry and Rebecca froze when they heard the voice of their mother, the one that was supposed to be dead, speaking to them. They turned to see their mother Esther and Michael coming to join them. Rebecca. Mother, you are back. How long have she been here? Rebecca said to her mother and also to Viktor, who was smiling at them. Freya. 9 months ago, on the night we knew Ketsia was pregnant. Rebecca. That long, and you all didn't bother to tell any of us that. Cole. Well, I wanted to inform you of Mummy Dearest return, but someone said, and I quote, don't tell them, we should keep it as a surprise for them. So surprise, Rebecca. So how long were you going to keep it as a surprise? Viktor didn't answer that and just looked away as he walked to greet the other guests. Rebecca. UGGH, whatever, I will get him later. So how are you, mother? Rebecca decided to catch up with her mother alongside Finn, while Niklaus, Elijah and Henrik gave them some privacy. To Viktor. Viktor. Thank you for coming, Giuseppe, even through your busy schedule. Giuseppe was a man with a tall stature and medium build, wearing fine suits of the time. He had blue eyes and brown hair with some gray and white streaks. He is the father of Damon and Stefan. Giuseppe. Ha ha ha. What nonsense. How can I miss such a joyous occasion? I have to drop everything I was doing so that I can attend this ceremony. After all, you are the tutor of my children. Viktor. Ha ha ha. Thank you for putting me in high regards, Mr. Giuseppe. Giuseppe. It's nothing, you deserve it, Giuseppe said as he took his leave to meet a potential business partner. Viktor continued greeting the guests as the ceremony came to an end. Elijah. Thank you all for joining us as we celebrate our new member. We will forever be grateful for tonight as we call it a night here. Thank you and be safe. Elijah gave the farewell speech as all the guests started to disperse. Viktor. Well, that was one heck of a night. Remind me to always leave things like this to you, brother, Viktor said to Elijah as he didn't want to do any of the stuffs he did tonight. It was tiring even for him as he talked to those inhumane humans who will call them beasts. I'm the nearest future. Elijah. I would have very much appreciate that, but I won't always be here with you, brother, as New Orleans is now like a home to us, Elijah said as he made Viktor wonder how will it turn out if they stayed in New Orleans till the 2000s. He knew that's unlikely to happen as all he have seen so far throughout his immortal life is that some things can never be changed as they are Nexus event, and he believed that the New Orleans incident is one, and also the sealing of Niklaus werewolf side was also one, but because of his intervention, it was avoided. But now he can't do anything as he did not know what or who will make it happen, but he wasn't worried as he believed that they won't run away, rather they will leave on their own accord as if a fight were to occur. New Orleans will be destroyed alongside the attacker. Viktor. Well, we see about that. The Mikaelson chatted around as they were catching up after separating for several years. As they were having their conversation, an unsuspecting woman walked in, which made the family turn to look at the intruder. Did I miss the show, or is it about to start? Esther. Dalia. Malia, who was in Ketsia's hands sleeping, opened her eyes as she thought. Malia. The crazy aunt is here. Chapter 42. The Prison World. Did I miss the show, or is it about to start? Esther. Dalia. Dalia. Hello, sister. Did you miss me? I doubt that, seeing as you are surrounded by people you choose to replace me with. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for my prize, as you know what I mean, then just hand it over. Dalia said as she went straight to the point without twisting her words. Dalia. Also, the one who ran away hundreds of years ago. I would like her back too. Esther stood defensively in front of her family as she faced of her sister. Esther. I will not allow that, Dalia. You should not direct your hatred to my children, instead you should direct it at me. I was the one who broke our vow, always and forever, not my children. Dalia. Sigh, Esther, you should know that this has nothing to do with us. Well, a little, but you made a deal which made this family of yours, and a deal I intend to uphold. Every firstborn of every generation of your bloodline belongs to me, and I will not let anyone stand in my way. Ketsia. You want my daughter? Then you have to get through me. Little witch, I will have you know that you are not the only crazy witch in town. Ketsia said as her eyes turned purple and she grew fangs and claws after she gave their child to Viktor. Dalia. So you are the mother of the child? Well, if I were you, I would forfeit, as you have no chance of winning in a fight with me. Ketsia. Hey, try me. This isn't my first rodeo with an immortal. Rebecca. If you want to get to the child, you will have to go through us. Freya. I second that. Rebecca and Freya said as they stood beside Ketsia. Dalia. Ha 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 ha. I knew this would happen. Well, too bad for you lots. I made a deal with another person. Dalia said as she brought out a dagger and pointed towards the Mikaelsons. Viktor, seeing the dagger she held, knew that it must be one of those daggers that would appear when the meager is completed. Viktor. Where did you get that? Dalia. This was given to me by someone who wants you dead, trying to rid this world of your existence. Viktor. You think that dagger can do anything to us? We are the Mikaelsons, the original family. We are unkillable. What can a stupid dagger do? Viktor said as he did not expect one of the daggers to appear so quickly, and that in the hands of Dalia herself. Viktor. All right, let's just say the dagger do work as intended. Do you think you can get close enough to us to even be able to use that, seeing as you are blindly risking your life by putting your faith in some stupid being? I have decided to give you a way out. What about I give you my bite? I will turn you into a werewolf, and you can still be able to use your magic and have what you have always desired desperately. Immortality, or you can come at me, my daughter, and any of my family, and I will grant you a painful death. Your choice. Niklaus. There is no need for that, brother. I say we rip her heart out and make it a statement to whoever sent her that nobody messes with the Mikaelson and live to tell the tale. Niklaus said as he just wants to kill Dalia and be done with it. Dalia. Well, I have to say, your offer is a bit tempting. If you had offered me this deal 5 months ago, I would have accepted, but now I will have to decline. Dalia said as she lunged at Rebecca, Freya, and Ketsia while augmenting her physical strength with magic. Ketsia. Fool, you should have taken the easy way out. Ketsia said as she rushed to Dalia and punched her in her stomach, sending her flying. Bam. Dalia. You are strong. I always knew that I will never be able to fight you all like that, but just wanted to give it a try. Anyway, time to get the fight started. Dalia raised her hands as she casted a spell but didn't get the effect she wanted, and that's when she realized that she could not feel her magic anymore. Cole. You can't feel your magic anymore, can you? Dalia looked behind her and saw Cole behind her, leading her to believe that whatever happened to her was his doing. Cole. As much as I want you to continue your farce, I will have to stop you here. You see, today is my niece's special day and I don't want any interruptions, so you will have to die now. Cole said as his true face appeared, and he went for Dalia's neck when Esther stopped him. Esther. Stop, Cole. Don't kill her, please. It was my fault she turned out this way and only I can help her. So please let me save my sister from her darkness. Cole hesitated and looked at the rest of his siblings when Dalia took the opportunity and daggered a distracted Cole, causing him to stagger and fall down as he started desiccating. Viktor immediately created a clone of himself as he sent it to apprehend Dalia, while Elijah vamped speed to Cole and pulled out the dagger, bringing colors back to his face. Freya. Look at what you have done, mother. Because of your self-guilt and trying to mend what was already broken, you endangered Cole's life. What if the dagger really did kill him? What would you have done? Freya said as she looked at her mother with anger and a little trace of hatred in her eyes. Michael. Enough, Freya. You should be glad that nothing happened to Cole. And I think it is high time you let go of your hatred for your mother. Viktor. Father is right, Freya. You should let it go, Viktor said as he looked at Freya before turning his sight to Dalia. Viktor. Now, I never intended to do this, but since you are trying so hard to redeem Dalia, I will help you, but she will be imprisoned and you will have to go visit her and have your sisterly conversation, Viktor told his mother his proposition, as he will not let walk around scot-free until he deems her so. He will create a prison world like the one the Gemini Coven used to imprison Kai Parker, but his own will be more powerful. Esther. Thank you, son. Viktor only nodded as he went to prepare everything needed for the spell, as Freya also joined him. Chapter 43. A Deal of a Lifetime. 6 years later. Ketsia. Look at how big she is, compared to when she was just a little toddler. Viktor. That's the work of time. After a few years, she will turn into a beautiful woman and some stupid boys will be chasing her up and about. Ketsia. And you are going to stop them, I guess. Viktor. Of course, I can't just let anyone have my daughter. They will have to defeat me first if they want a chance to court my daughter. Ketsia wondered as she looked at Malia, who was having fun with her auntie Freya, how her life will turn out when she heard what Viktor said. Ketsia. You were never intending to let anyone near our daughter, right? Viktor didn't answer her and just looked at his daughter and sister. Cole. Speaking of this relationship thing, do you know that Freya has been looking at that Stefan boy differently, like a maiden in love, and the little brat also seemed to be reciprocating her feelings? Cole said when he thought of how Stefan and Freya might have feelings for one another and wondered if something was wrong with their heads, as old was too old for the other for to be having feelings for a 16-year-old. If it was a few years older, he wouldn't have had anything against it, and the other one was still in his teens to be admiring someone older than him. Viktor. You should talk to her if you don't like it. As for me, there is nothing wrong with Stefan, and he is a good lad who will turn out to be a great man for our Freya, and if you are forgetting something, then I have to remind you that Freya is our eldest. She can do whatever she wants unless you are looking for the silent treatment once again. Viktor said his piece while Cole remembered what happened 6 years ago when Dalia crashed his niece's ceremony. 6 years ago. Damn, that hurts like hell. It's as if my life was getting sucked out of me. Freya. Why did you do that? Cole. What did I do, sister? Freya. Don't play games with me, brother. What if you really died? What do you think we would have done? Did you care about how we would feel if you really died? Why did you not dodge or deflect the attack aimed at you? Freya said, as she knew as well as everyone except from Esther that Cole would have not been hit by that attack if he had intended to dodge from the start. Cole. I was just trying to confirm if the dagger can really kill us, and besides I casted a protection spell before doing that and everything also turned out just fine. Rebecca. Are you out of your mind? That was a risky move. What if the dagger had nullified your magic and rendered your protection spell useless, thereby leading to your death? This time, the one to berate Cole was Rebecca. Cole. I'm sorry, I just wanted to do something nice for once. Freya. You must be sick if you think that was nice. Cole. Freya said as she stormed out of the room. Elijah. You have some serious apologizing to do, but I'm glad you are safe, brother. Elijah tapped his brother on the shoulder before going to talk to Freya. The others just looked at Cole and did not know what to say, as everything has already been said. That was how Freya gave Cole a silent treatment before forgiving him after 3 years. Present day Cole. That was a scary time. They laughed at that before they turned to see Katerina coming towards them. Viktor. Welcome back, Katerina. How was your journey? Katerina. Successful. I've tracked them down, and it seems Lillian sent one Valerie and Julian to keep an eye on Stefan when he was out of Mystic Falls. Katerina narrated everything that happened during her journey throughout the years. Viktor. You did well, Katerina. Viktor looked at Cole, which the latter understood, and stood up before walking off, with Katerina following behind him to go get himself a coven of heretics when he heard Viktor speaking to him. Viktor. When you are done, meets us at New Orleans, Viktor said, as a certain Giuseppe is gathering a rally against vampires which will blow up in a few years. Ketsia. Are you sure they are going to turn out the way you said they would and not give him some false hope? You know how he loves the idea of having a coven of his own and wanting them to be heretics like him. Ketsia said as she remembered when Cole tried to turn a witch into a vampire to create a heretic. He failed, which did not go too well for the coven of the said witch. Viktor. Of course, I know that it will work out well. That's why I even suggested the idea in the first place. Victor then went on to explain how siphoners are from the TVD series, how they can still retain their ability to use magic despite being a vampire. Ketsia. I hope what you say is true. You know how Cole is when he is disappointed. Victor. I know, Victor said as he knew a disappointed Cole is a ripper Cole through the original series. The couple watched as how Freya and Malia continued playing. A few weeks later, Cole. This is quite a nice place. Don't you think so, Kat? Katerina didn't answer him as she just looked forward. Cole. Tisk, you are no fun at all. I wish that Andre guy was here. He would have been a better company. Katerina. I would rather not be here myself. Cole. Whatever. Cole and Katerina walked to a large building where he felt some supernatural presences. He entered the building without knocking, shocking the people inside and making one of them particularly scared as he was just like she last saw him. They wondered who he was and how he was able to enter their home without being invited as he was a vampire, which didn't make sense. Cole. Hello, Lillian. Long time no see. Do you mind if you tell whose name was on the house deed to invite my little friend out there inside? Then it will save you all the problem of incurring her wrath, as she can get a bit crazy sometimes. Everyone turned their attention to Lillian and wondered how she knew the mysterious vampire before them when they heard her say to one of them whose name was on the deed when the house was acquired. Lillian. Valerie. Invite her inside. They are guests. Lillian said to her trusted friend and confidant as she looked at Cole and continued. Lillian. I never knew you were also a vampire, and how were you able to enter our home without an invitation? Cole. Oh, come on, Lillian, don't compare me with some lowlife vampires or to the likes of you. I'm not your everyday vampire, so let's cut the chit-chat and move to the reason as to why I am here, Cole said as he looked at the siphoners behind her. What do you want with them? A man who was handsome with a dirty blonde-haired, blue-eyed man with a signature wicked grin who appeared to be in his mid to late 30s. Cole. I'm here to offer them a deal of a lifetime. Chapter 44, The First Bloods Heretics. Cole. I'm here to offer them a deal of a lifetime. Julian. And what might that be, Mr. Cole? I have no reason to tell you my name if you didn't catch it the first time, and as for my proposal, well, it doesn't concern you, so shoo, Cole said as he turns his eyes back to the siphoner witches after ignoring an annoying pest in the person of Julian. Julian. How dare you talk to me that way? Julian said as he vamped speed to attack Cole, but Katerina got to him before he got to Cole. She pinned him to the wall with a wooden stake she got from breaking one of the chairs in the room. Katerina. Know your place. Katerina told the groaning Julian, who was in pain from being pinned to a wall but was glad that she didn't intend to kill him, but that did not mean he will forget what she just did to him. He will make sure to pay her back one way or the other. The siphoners and Lillian looked at the scene before them with open eyes, as they clearly saw Julian attacked first, but now he was the one who got his ass beaten in a mere second. Cole. Ahem, if you don't mind, can you please lend me your attention here? Cole said to the surprised siphoners and Lillian in the room. Lillian. Sorry about that, but she is really strong to defeat Julian with such ease. Cole. Well, what do you expect from our little devil here? You could have been this strong if you had met the right people to turn you into vampires. Not that they would have, but you should have still asked, but you missed your chance. But them. Cole said, still looking at the siphoners behind Lillian. Lillian. I don't know what you mean, but seeing as your eyes never left them, I'm assuming you here for them. So why are you here? Cole Mikaelson. Katerina. Stop asking useless questions and let him just do what he came here for. Katerina replied Lillian's question as she was getting tired of all their question and answer section. How can we help you? And from the way you are acting, is as if you are the one who was trying to help us here. No offense, but it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you came all the way from Mystic Falls just so you can meet us. So you must need something from us. So spill. An attractive young woman with blue eyes and long, blonde brown hair said Katerina. Valerie. If you call him making you group of wastrel more powerful and even have a chance of getting revenge on those who wronged you as him needing something from you lots, then lady, there is something wrong with your head. Katerina said as she looked at Valerie like a fool who did not know any better. When the siphoners heard the word revenge, they fell silent, as right now, they could do anything to get rid of those bastards who casted them away like some kind of abomination, a disease, all for what? Because they were different, a little special than the rest of them. Witches. They all swore to have their revenge one day on their common enemies, the Gemini Coven. How can you help us? How can you make us strong to the point of destroying the Gemini Coven? An attractive young woman who has medium length, blonde hair. She also has green eyes and a pale complexion. Her name is Mary Louise, said Cole. Good questions, and the answer to all your questions will be. Cole said as he vamped speed and came with a glass as he bit his hands and poured his blood into it. Cole, drink my blood and become a vampire. My vampires, and not just any vampires. A very special kind of vampires which I will tell you later on after your transition. So who is ready to step into the path of greatness? Valerie. Hold on. If what you say is for us to become vampires, then can't Lily here just turn us into one? I don't see the point of you coming all the way here just for that. Cole just smiled as he looked at Valerie, who just spoke, and said, Cole, why don't you go ahead and get turned by her? And let one of you get turned by me and see the difference. Katerina looked at the Siphoners as they started to think about what Cole just said and sighed. Katerina, you are all fools. If you are really having thought of even doing what he said, then you are all delusional as one. He won't let any one of you get turned by Lillian here, as that would reduce your numbers, and he is not going to like that. 2. He is just asking right now, but after his patience runs out, you won't even know how you all died, so just take his damn blood and turn into a vampire while he is being nice. Cole. Come on, Cat. You are scaring them by saying that. They will think I'm some kind of monster or something. Katerina just turned her face away from Cole as she stared at the pinned Julian, who was losing his consciousness from too much loss of blood. After giving it much thought, and from what Cole said earlier about them being as strong as Katerina, she decided to let them be sired by Cole, and maybe there might be a slight chance that he might be able to make her stronger. Lillian. All right, they will drink your blood. They will turn into a vampire. Your vampires. Lillian said as she emphasized that the vampires are going to be his once they turn. Cole just sighed as he thought of how much he had to convince these bunches before him. Just to them into a heretic, and not just any heretic but a powerful and stronger one, due to the fact that he was the one turning them. Cole. Cat, release our friend there. Let him get fresh humans for our aspiring members. Lillian. He will not be in his right mind to do that. He is going to cause a massacre if you let him go out like that. Lillian said when she saw the state of Julian. Cole just looked at the Siphoners as they drank his blood. When they were done, he controlled their shadows and pierced their heart from behind, causing the Siphoners to die in confusion as they did not know how they died. Cole. Well, that was fun. Cole said as he looked at the bewildered Lillian, and more surprise was still coming for her. Katerina freed Julian, who wanted to attack her, but she kicked him away and vamped speed to him after thinking of a cruel way to torture the bastard in front of her. She compelled him to bring humans for the Siphoners to complete their transition while he never do anything to satiate his bloodlust. This act destroyed the world view of Lillian as she saw things she never knew was possible before and after she become a vampire. Lillian. Just who the hell are you people? Cole and Katerina just smiled at Lillian. Chapter 45 Founders Council Extra Chapter 1/1. A year later, Mystic Falls. Giuseppe. Those creatures must be sent out of our town. We can't continue to cohabit with vile creatures such as them. They are bloodsuckers, deceivers, and demons in human appearance. I say we rid them from Mystic Falls for good. Giuseppe and a group of mature men were seated around a table, presumably the founders of Mystic Falls, as they discussed the situation about the vampires in their town. Before we continue this gathering, where is Victor and Freya? They are also part of the Founders Council, so why are we holding this gathering without them? A man who had dark brown hair, green eyes, and had some facial hair. He wore a dark suit with a white shirt underneath. His name is Thomas Keeping Fell of the Fells family. He asked Giuseppe, as this was never a thing before, as all the founding families are always present when they are having a gathering like this. Giuseppe. I suspect he and his family to also be vampires. Can't you all notice how they don't age and always look like they were in their prime? There is something fishy. There is nothing fishy going on here, Giuseppe. It is your paranoia that is wrong here. How can you say something like that when we all saw him take the vervain when we first brought it in? Have you ever seen anything or something like a ring? Well, apart from Victor, who still took it off one time, and that too under the sun, and yet he was just fine. So I don't see any reason to throw allegations just based on your suspension. For all we know, it might be because of a family traits that made them look the way they did. A man who has had a tall stature and slim build, and wore refined gentleman clothing. He had short, dark brown hair and hazel eyes. He is Jacob Lockwood, the ancestor of the Lockwood family. Giuseppe, I know you all would not believe me, but I don't care. My gut feeling says he is one of them, or an even more dangerous one than the vampires we know of. He might even be the devil among them demons. Giuseppe still stands on his decision, as he will always trust his gut feeling. Giuseppe, you have to know that he has a daughter and she just turned 7 not too long ago, and we all know that vampires can't procreate, so all your accusations against the Mikaelsons are invalid. Moreover, he is the master of both your children. If he is what you say he is, then what about your children? A man who had short, dark brown hair and brown eyes, with a mustache and beard. He wore a dark brown jacket and a lighter brown suit underneath. He had a tall stature and slim build. He is Jonathan Gilbert, an ancestor of the Gilbert family. That was brought Giuseppe back to reality as he remembered about his children, especially Stefan, his favorite son. He immediately turned to leave, but not without giving the founders a piece of his mind. Giuseppe, you will come to regret your decision when the truth is revealed, or when he has killed you lots. Then you will remember what I told you today. Thomas. Sigh. I guess we have called it an end to our gathering today, but pay no heed to Giuseppe. He is just a little insecure, that's all. Jonathan. Even at that, I still think we should look into it, as even in his nonsense, there might be a sense in it. The founders all stood up as they all went to their various homes while thinking of today's discussion. Mikaelson resident Malia. Father, are we leaving Mystic Falls? Malia could be seen sitting on Victor's lap as they started at the full moon with 2 dead bodies on the ground. Victor. Yeah, we should just leave to avoid bloodshed. Victor said, as even if Malia is an adult in the body of a little child, Ketsia would kill him if he did something like that, and he is currently doing that, but he can get out of this one. Freya. Why don't we just stay here? After all, this is our home. You were born and raised here, so I don't see any reason to just give it up just like that. The father and daughter pair both saw Freya coming with 2 humans behind her. Victor. Well, we have to join the rest of our siblings at New Orleans, and we've done what we came here, so I see no reason to linger around anymore, Victor said as he looked at the 2 brothers who just woke up. Freya went to Stefan and cut open her wrist for him to drink. Freya. Drink. You will have to drink my blood to complete your transition. Stefan. But I don't want to hurt you, Victor. Damn. I knew you liked the boy, but not to this extent, and why did you bother to bring 2 humans when you could just have brought 1? Freya. Well, I just wanted Damon to have a feast, that's all. Victor looked at Stefan, who was still hesitant, so he gave him a little push. Victor. Stefan, you can drink from her, don't worry, she is immortal, she won't die from just that. Stefan obliged as he drank Freya's blood from her wrist. Victor looked at the 2 siblings who he had just turned after telling them what he was and if they wanted to be like him, which the 2 brothers agreed to immediately, due to similar yet different reasons. Women. Stefan agreed because he wanted to be with Freya, while Damon agreed because of Katerina, which just made Victor and Malia sigh at the love-struck brothers. Ketsia. Why are you letting Malia see all these bloody mess? Ketsia said as the first thing she saw was her daughter's curious eyes on the feeding brothers. Victor. Well, you see, this is something she will come to do one day, and I see no reason to refuse my little princess when she makes that face, Victor said as he ruffled Malia's hairs, which made her smile cutely. Ketsia. Sigh. Both of you will be the death of me. Oh, and before I forget, Giuseppe is coming here looking for his sons, and I'm guessing he might be unto us. Damon. Let him come. I will handle him. Damon said as he and his father never see eye to eye in anything. They always argued at the smallest disagreement. If not because of Stefan, he would have left Mystic Falls a long time ago. Victor wanted to say something when he heard the door to the courtyard open, revealing Giuseppe. Giuseppe. I knew it. I knew you were a vampire, and seeing my sons here with you, you must have turned them into vile creatures like you, and no children of mine will live like that, Giuseppe said as he readied his weapon and aimed at his sons. Chapter 46. Ready or not, here I come, Giuseppe. I knew it. I knew you were a vampire, and seeing my sons here with you, you must have turned them into vile creatures like you, and no children of mine will live like that, Giuseppe said as he readied his weapon and aimed at his sons. Victor. Drop the weapon, Giuseppe. You don't want to go down that route. Giuseppe. Are you threatening me now? Too late, because I will eradicate your kind from the face of the world, starting with my sons, Giuseppe said as he fired the wooden bullet in his musket at his favorite son, Stefan. But before the bullet could get to Stefan, Freya destroyed it mid-air, turning it into dust. Giuseppe, seeing as Stefan was completely fine, frowned as he knew that he just shot at him just now, and from the looks of it, his target was never hit, which surprised him greatly. Freya, thinking of what happened, if so I was responsible. Giuseppe looked at Freya and shot at her, but the same thing happened before. Giuseppe, what are you? You are not a vampire. No vampire can ever do whatever you just did. Freya, of course not. I'm not a vampire, but that does not mean you can look down on me, as that will be the very last mistake you will ever make in your life. Freya said as she conjured a fire in her hands and burned the bodies Damon had feed on as a show of power. Giuseppe, so you are another kind of monster. Well, this changes everything we have planned, but that does not mean we have lost our will to eradicate you monsters. You are not meant to walk the same world that we inhabit, Giuseppe said as the founders appeared behind him, and also the forces they have prepared. Viktor, this is going troublesome, you know, Father. Michael. I know, a trouble I will love to handle, boy. Michael appeared with Esther in his hands while he stared at the fools invading his home. An hour ago. Wait, Giuseppe, I will join you. I too have my suspicion against the Mikaelsons. They are unusual since they arrived in Mystic Falls, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Giuseppe turned to see a tall man with a medium build, wearing dark-colored cloth of the time. He has short, blonde hair and blue eyes. He recognized him to be William Forbes, the sheriff of the Mystic Falls. Giuseppe, so you are the only one to have a brain among the rest of those fools. William, me coming to you does not warrant any insult to the council. For all we know, we might be wrong about the Mikaelsons and we will become the fools, so save your judgment for later. Giuseppe looked at William. Before he said, Giuseppe, all right, whatever you say, but I will have you know that my gut feeling is always right. William, we will know about that later, but for now, we have somewhere to be. Giuseppe, yes, but before that, when we get to Mikaelson's home, you will have to sneak in while only I will go in openly, so that if they were indeed vampires, you can inform the others. Giuseppe laid out his plan to take down the Mikaelsons. William, okay, but don't do anything rash while I'm gone. Both Giuseppe and William went the Mikaelsons' resident as William sneaked inside the compound, unaware that his actions were already seen by Michael, who chose to let him be as he is going to have fun with them later. When Giuseppe entered and saw his sons feeding off blood from humans and Freya by Stefan, he was angered at the monstrosities he called his sons. William also saw the scene, and he didn't wait any longer as he has gotten what he needed, so he left to get the other founding members. Some moment later, Thomas. Are you sure of what you are saying? William. Of course, I saw it with my own eyes. How can you ask such a question? I saw Stefan and Damon feeding on blood. They are now vampires, and the Mikaelsons were there watching them doing it. He even held his daughter in his arms, whom I'm now doubting if he is even the father of that child. Thomas fell into a contemplative state as he thought of what he should do. This a founding member they were talking about here. They can't just go and try to kill him, but he is what they are trying to kill here. Thomas. Sigh. Jonathan, gather your gadgets that can make a stand against Viktor and his family, while you, William, mobilize your forces and equip them with wooden bullet and have them join the rest of us at the Mikaelsons' resident, the rest of you with me. Thomas immediately gave out his orders as everyone went to do what they were assigned to, and the rest followed Thomas. Present time, Viktor. I see, you have thoroughly prepared yourself, Viktor said as he faced the founders and the mini-army they brought against him and his family. Viktor. What I've been desperately trying to prevent has happened. Viktor handed Malia to Ketsia and turned to Freya as he continued. Viktor. Take them to New Orleans along with mother and father. Viktor called Michael because he was the one who let this happen in the first place, and he won't let him to do what he intended from the start. Michael. Don't you dare listen to him, Freya. I want to join in the fun. No. Michael didn't finish his statement before Freya got to him, and they teleported to New Orleans. Seeing as Freya just transported the others with her made everyone start to second-guess their decision in coming here, but they had a strong will, so they remained firm in their earlier decision. Giuseppe. Where did she take my sons? Viktor. You don't need to know that, as you will be dead in a matter of seconds, and there is this popular saying, dead men tell no tales, but since I am generous today I will give each and every one of you a chance to live. All you have to do is just to lay down your arms and I will make sure you don't remember this night or stand against me and die. Your choice. Viktor laid down their options for them as he just want to make tonight a little crazy. Thomas. You do realize that you are outnumbered, right? Viktor. Yes, by a bunch of ants. So that's no problem for me, Jacob. Your overconfidence will lead to your demise. As you know, even an elephant can be brought down by a colony of ants. So what makes you different? Viktor ignored him and said. Viktor. Seeing as none of you accepted my offer, just know there is no second chances after this, Viktor said as his eyes turned reddish purple, which scared the living daylight out of everyone, as that was not the normal eyes of a vampire. Viktor. Ready or not, here I come. Viktor's voice became chill when he said that as it sent shivers down their spines as they started raining gunshots on him, but he easily dodged them. Viktor. You fools, coming to my house and acting all high and mighty. Who do you think you are? I have to show you your place, if not, my name will never remain Viktor Mikaelson. Viktor was furious at Giuseppe and the other founders as they dared to attack him even when he was just trying to leave peacefully. Screams filled the courtyard as Viktor went on a killing spree as he mutilated the men brought by the founders. Viktor. Now your turn. Viktor faced the founders and walked slowly, instilling fear into the founders who tried to run away but found out that their exit was sealed. Giuseppe. Fire at him. I don't believe that he can't be killed. Giuseppe said as he shot at Viktor while the others also joined in shooting at Viktor. William. It's not working. He is no ordinary vampire. He is something else. The devil. William said when he saw that Viktor didn't even flinch from the injuries he received from their gunshots, but instead they saw that he was healing at unnatural speed. Even when they shot at his heart, he was still fine. Jacob. What are you? Viktor smiled. It was time to leave a mark in Mystic Falls and he must do it in style. Viktor looked at Jonathan, the only one that might survive the ordeal due to his Gilbert ring, and also Viktor for going to let him use it so that he might spread what he was about to say and do. Viktor. You can call me La Bête Mystique Tombe, Viktor said as he transformed to his new transformation form after the upgrade to an original wolf, a bipedal werewolf form. He stood at a terrifying height of 8 feet 5 in. He looked like a combination of a lichen from the underworld and the beast from Teen Wolf. After his transformation, he stared at the founders and bare his fangs at them. Chapter 47 Sage. What happened? I heard screams coming from everywhere throughout the entire night and then it suddenly stops. Didn't you hear? Someone said they saw a big animal running through Mystic Falls and killed a lot of people before the founders got to it at the Mikaelsons' courtyard, but they were unable to stop it and instead it killed almost all the founders, including the entire Mikaelson family in Mystic Falls, and only Jonathan Gilbert survived. What tragedy. That poor girl Malia just died like that. She was such a lovely and beautiful child. Sigh. She was the princess of Mystic Falls. What kind of animal attacked Mystic Falls to cause such a bloody mess? Nobody knows, but only the one who saw it and survived could tell us. But they say that Jonathan Gilbert hasn't woken up since they saw him, but what they know is that he is alive as he is still breathing. The entire Mystic Falls was talking about what happened last night, as after Viktor finished with the founders, he went on a killing spree on all the vampires in Mystic Falls and other supernatural creatures that appeared during the merging of both worlds, so that this night will go down in history books as the night of a bloody massacre, the night where an animal went on a rampage in Mystic Falls. This night would bore the story of the beast of Mystic Falls. After he cleaned Mystic Falls of their supernatural problem with the exception of the Bennett witches and the untriggered Lockwood werewolves, he left to join his family at New Orleans. At the peripheral of Mystic Falls, whatever that was stopping us from coming into this plane, it is no longer doing so, as we are now able to enter freely. So I say we should use this opportunity to put an end to the old ones once and for all. If Dalia was here, she would have recognized the woman as the one who came to her some years ago. I don't see any reason for us to attack them. They haven't done anything wrong. They are just a family living their lives. They have not committed any offense to warrant us to raise our weapons against them. Rhiannon, a very tall and strikingly attractive, beautiful, with a finely curved athletic figure. She has dark red shoulder-length hair. Her name is Sage said to the blonde guardian, which name is Rhiannon. Rhiannon. What about what one of them just did in this town? What do you say about that? Sage. Sage. That's not even something you should bring up. Rhiannon. Let me ask you this. What will you do if someone tried to attack you and your family because you were different from them and you have the power to get rid of them? Now, Will you let them walk over you or will you show them their place? What will be your answer? Sage asked Rhiannon, wanting to hear her answer. Rhiannon. Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other people he killed. They were innocent. They didn't deserve his wrath. But he still decided to kill them anyway. So what are you going to say to support him? No. Sage. Rhiannon deflected the first question she was asked as she did not know what to say about that. Sage. About those guys, I won't say they are innocent per se. You do know that he killed vampires and the other creatures that escaped the dark dimension, and when looked from another perspective, he was doing our job for us. Rhiannon. What did I expect from the devil's spawn? Rhiannon said as she stared at Sage with contempt, as she is the daughter bore from the devil with a human. The devil is a fallen guardian. He was among the celestial court before he rebelled and was cast out of the celestial court into the deepest part of the dark dimension, where he created his own court, the infernal court, to take his revenge against the celestial court. But ironically, his daughter is now a guardian of the celestial court. Sage. Say whatever you want, but I'm right. Your hatred for the old ones are unjustified. Sage didn't mind what Rhiannon said when she made reference to her father. Rhiannon. Are you going to let her have stupid belief about the old ones? Oh. Now you know that we are here. Rhiannon looked at the brown-haired guardian with a look as if saying, really? Whatever, Sage is right. We can't just go have a fight with the old ones when they did nothing wrong or something that would warrant our wrath against them. Rhiannon. Seriously, are you also siding with the devil spawn? Suzur. What about you, Idola? Are you going to also side with them? Suzur is the brown-haired guardian while Idola is a red-haired guardian. Idola didn't answer and just looked at the sky, which gave out her answer. Rhiannon. Seriously, you two? Fine then. Do whatever you want. I am going to destroy them myself. I don't need your help. I can get rid of the old ones myself, Rhiannon said as she willed her wings to appear and flew off. Sage. You should have told her that she might die or worse, captured by the old ones, and believe me, death would be a better option, Sage said. Sage. Go with her. I don't care what will happen, but make sure she is safe, or else the old ones will be the least of our worries, as the old ones and the demons, including your father, might join forces to rid us all. Sage. Yes, Malia. Malia is the leader of their group. She is blonde with golden blue eyes. Sage flew away as she followed Rhiannon. Malia. We have to go back to the dark dimension and prevent any more creatures from escaping. New Orleans. Malia. Daddy. Malia ran to her father the moment he appeared, and good thing Viktor already took care of his bloody clothes. If not, he would have gotten an earful from Ketsia. Ketsia. You are back. So how did you handle things over there? Ketsia, who was with Malia all these while as they wait for Viktor together. Viktor. Well, I just had to etch my name in the annals of history as the only known Mikaelson who handled a situation peacefully, Viktor said with a smile. Ketsia. As if that could ever happen in a million years. Whatever. Just so you know, Michael is very pissed off by what you did back at Mystic Falls. Viktor. Well, I wouldn't have done that if he didn't let William leave to inform the others. Michael. And I explicably said that I will handle it, Michael said as he walked into the room they were when he heard Viktor is back. Chapter 48, the original pack. Michael. And I explicably said that I will handle it. Viktor. Well, I just love her what you prepared for me. Michael. You damn boy. I get you back for what you did today. Viktor. I will be waiting. Father. Viktor smiled as he saw his father walking away, but stopped when he saw the others walked in. Niklaus. Brother, how wonderful to have you here with us once again. Elijah. It is indeed great to have you back and making our family whole again. Cole. How is the family whole without me? They all turned to see Cole also arrived with a raven on his shoulder which appeared to be enhanced greatly with magic. Finn. Cole, you are also here. What a coincidence. Viktor. I won't call it a coincidence per se, Viktor said as he looked at the raven on Cole's shoulder. Cole. I just made it my personal pet and for scouting for me, which I used to spy on your arrival before coming here also. Cole and his heretic were wandering the world picking up new things along the way until Viktor and the others went to New Orleans and Cole decided it was time and compel Lillian and Julian to go their own way. Elijah. Let's go in. I prepared a feast for your arrival. The Mikaelsons wanted to go inside when Viktor noticed someone was missing. Viktor. Where is Rebecca? The four brothers that were in New Orleans with their sister. Rebecca froze and became silent as they did not know how to explain what happened with their sister to Viktor. Finally, Henrik said after gathering enough courage to voice out what happened, which did not sound really funny to the newly arrived members. Henrik, she is daggered and currently laid in her room. Malia. So the daggering has began. Viktor. What did you mean she is daggered? I know I took the dagger from Elijah, so was there another dagger in your possession, and who amongst you daggered her? Viktor said as the playfulness on his face disappeared. Elijah. To tell you what happened will take a long time, so I will show you instead, Elijah said as he opened up his mind to Viktor. See what happened. 3 years ago in and Elijah was playing a game of chess. Niklaus was trying out a new art idea while Henrik and Rebecca were having a chat, and Eric, Alex and Marcel were having a little spar lesson. Marcel and Alex are still humans currently as they have not been turned yet. As they were doing that, they heard footsteps of people entering the abattoir. Elijah. Who would dare to barge into the abattoir like they own the place when the real owners are here? Elijah said as he went to see who these uninvited guests were. Niklaus. You know, it is very rude to come into someone's home uninvited, right? Niklaus said as they finally saw who the people were. We mean no harm. We are just a pack who were just looking for a place to call home, and we happened to come across New Orleans and decided to stay here and call it home. But the supernatural community, as they called it, to meet the ruling family of all supernatural in New Orleans here. That's why we are here. Niklaus. Isn't that wonderful? They finally knew who the overlords of New Orleans to send you to us, and here I thought of beating more sense into them before they know their place, Niklaus said as he stared at the new pack of wolves in town. Elijah. I believe what my brother was trying to say was, you've come to the right place, but to stay in New Orleans, you have to answer to us. Are you still unwilling to stay here? We are willing. Finn. You do know that we are vampires and your kind despise us, Niklaus. Come on, brother. Don't say it like that. There are hybrids among you, Niklaus said as he was referring to himself and Eric. We are not like the other wolves who bore hatred over your kind. We are different breed of wolves. Show them. A woman named Sahi stepped out of the group as she started to transform into a partial werewolf form. We are different, but we still need to kill to trigger our werewolf curse, and from then on, we learn how to control our transformation with or without the influence of the full moon. Niklaus. Interesting. You are certainly a rare gem, and we can't let you live in any other place other than New Orleans. What do you say, brothers? Elijah. Well, they are indeed different, so there is no harm in letting them stay. Finn. Henrik and also Rebecca agreed to let the original pack stay in New Orleans. Niklaus. You can take the compound close to the abattoir. We can't let you out of our sight, can we? Niklaus smiled at the original pack as he pointed to them their new compound. Thank you, and to express our gratitude, we will like to present this dagger to you. The smiles on the faces of the siblings disappeared when they saw the dagger the alpha of the pack brought out. Rebecca. Where did you get that dagger? This dagger magically appeared in my hut through 1 hour travels. We tried to figure out its source and what its uses are for, but nobody knew anything about it, and since we are here and have no use for it, we would like to gift it to you as you are the only one who could figure out the use of the dagger. Niklaus vamped speed and took the dagger from the alpha and told them to leave the abattoir. Finn. So now, the daggers are magically appearing around the world now. Finn said as he looked at the dagger, which was exactly like the one his aunt brought 4 years ago. Niklaus. We have to find out if there are any more of these daggers out there and take it away from them. Elijah. That will have to wait for now. It's not like the dagger can really kill us anyway. The siblings nodded to that as they had other things to do than to look for some daggers they don't know where to start from. Present time, Viktor saw how after that, Rebecca and Marcel couldn't hide their feelings for one another, which led to result in Niklaus finding out about it, which he tried to put a stop to. But they were adamant about it, so Niklaus gave Marcel an ultimatum. Either he takes his bite or live the rest of his mortal life with Rebecca. But the fool chose the bite, making Rebecca daggered herself, as that was the only way out of her heartbreak. Seeing all that, Viktor True Face appeared as he vamped speed to Niklaus and punched a hole into his chest and pulled out his heart. Then he looked at Marcel and took out a dagger from his shadow and also vamped speed to him and daggered him. Viktor. That's what you get for choosing immortality over my sister, Viktor said as he looked at the desiccating Marcel, who looked at him with wide-opened eyes. Esther. Then what about him, son? Why did you have to do that to him? Esther said as she ran over to her lifeless son, Niklaus, and held him. Viktor. He deserved that for causing all of these to happen in the first place. Mother, Viktor said to her, after which he went to Rebecca's room and found her daggered on her bed. He walked into her room and sat beside her as he created a dream to talk to her. Dreamscape Rebecca. This brings back memories, Rebecca said as she appeared in their previous home before they became vampires. Viktor, that's where I created it to be so. Sister, Rebecca turned to see her brother as she ran to him with tears in her eyes. Rebecca. You are back, brother. Chapter 49 The Daggers Rebecca. You are here, brother. Viktor. I'm sorry, I was late. Rebecca. No need for that, it was I who fell in love with the wrong person and Niklaus for being well. Niklaus, so no need for you to apologize. Viktor. I understand you love the fool, but what I don't get is you daggering yourself because of him. I mean, this isn't your first rodeo with a failed love life, so why go so far as to dagger yourself? Rebecca. You wouldn't understand. You had a family with the first woman you loved, whereas I had to deal with countless failed relationships. First was Alexander with his betrayal, and then the list continues, and now Marcel, and you expect me to be fine and move on with my life as if nothing happened. I tried, brother, but the pain of knowing that all my life I have never be loved as a woman and is like the world is telling me that I will never find someone who could tell me he loves me and would like to spend the rest of my life with. So I decided to shut myself and bury the pain with the only way possible, by sleeping. So I daggered myself. Viktor looked at Rebecca with a solemn face as he knew how hurt she were. None of her relationship had ever worked out throughout the centuries. She is bound to be hurt. Despite being a vampire, she has a weak heart when it comes to love. Viktor. Don't say that. You are lovable and will one day find someone who would love you for who you are, Rebecca, and we are always going to be there for you, always and forever, but for now, you need to wake up. Rebecca. No, brother, I can't. Viktor didn't let her finish as he pressed his fingers against her lips. Viktor. Shish, that was not a suggestion, sister, Viktor said as he left the dreamscape into the real world. He opened his eyes back in the room as he reached for the dagger and pulled it out and placed it in his shadow space. He teleported out of the abattoir, and he didn't take long as he appeared back with 2 women for Rebecca to feed on when she wakes up. He compelled them to be in their best behavior and be obedient until Rebecca wakes up, and left the room to see his family in the courtyard with an already healed Niklaus. Michael. How is Rebecca, boy? Viktor. She is all right. She just needs a little more time with herself. Niklaus. I'm sorry for my inference in Rebecca's life. I thought I was just looking out for her after what happened with that Alexander boy. But Elle was causing more damage to her than the good I was intending for her. Viktor. That's what you should say to her, and Rebecca is old enough to take care of herself and her love life. Nobody should interfere until she asks. We don't want incidents like this happening again. Do we? Viktor said, not wanting any more of this drama. Freya. That's enough. Since Rebecca is all right, we talk about the daggers magically popping out if nowhere. First it was Dalia, then the original pack also had one. That's making 2 of the daggers which we are currently in possession of, and we don't know if there are any more of this out there, Freya said as she brought an even more important matter than the love story of her sister, their family's weakness. Cole. We could simply use a spell to locate if there are more of them. There is nothing magic cannot solve. Viktor. It won't work. I have tried before, and from my findings, I don't think anyone who could be able to do something that can weaken us will let it be easily traceable, and that someone is out to kill us, Viktor said as the first time he got the daggers, he tried to locate them, but he was blocked, and no matter what he did, he couldn't trace the daggers as it was the handiwork of a powerful being, and he is still not strong enough yet. Niklaus. Since we can't find it, then we should look at the pattern at which the daggers are appearing. Niklaus made that suggestion as if magic can't work, then there are other ways to get things done. Elijah. The pattern at which they appeared. Viktor. First, it was Dalia. She said someone gave it to her. Then the werewolves. They said it mysteriously appeared to them. Ah. I think I've gotten it, Viktor said after much thinking. He knew that the dagger was given to Dalia by someone which he knew to be a guardian, and now the wolves. Viktor believed that the daggers was appearing to the major supernatural creatures in the world. For examples, the guardians, the werewolves, the devil, the witches and the hunters, and since they are the ones the daggers was made for, it will be unlikely that they will have one, so his best bet for the vampires will be the very first vampires they themselves sired. Lucian. Tristan and Aurora and the rest that were turned by his other siblings. They will be the ones with the daggers. Viktor told the rest of his family what he thought while omitting things related to the Guardians and the Devil, as he should not know anything about them yet. Cole. So you are saying that there might be one of these daggers with the witches? Cole said after hearing what his brother said. Viktor. Yes, but I doubt it will appear now, and if indeed they do have it, we can't just go to them and demand they give us the dagger, and we can't ask them peacefully either, as they will think we are onto something and the dagger might be a threat to us, making the supernatural world go crazy over it. Niklaus. So what do you say we do? Let them keep it. Even if it can't kill us, we can't let it be with them. Elijah. Let them. It's not like they could even be able to get close to us to use it, and sometimes the best way to destroy someone is by destroying every shred of hope they have when they think they have an advantage against you. Elijah said, as he knew what Viktor was trying to do with the fools with the daggers coming to try and kill them, but instead have their lives taken from them, and also they will be bringing the daggers to them. After a while of discussion, the Mikaelson dispersed and went about their day. Chapter 50. Nadia Petrova and Amara. 10 years later, 1817. New Orleans. Status name: Viktor Mikaelson. Title: Reincarnator. The strongest. The original tribrid, Mikaelson. Original vampire. Vampire progenitor. La Bête Mystique Tombe. Age: 736. Species: original tribrid, vampire plus werewolf plus witch. Skills: 10 times learning speed, sword fighting LVL max, hunting LVL max, hand-to-hand combat LVL max, acting LVL max, blood manipulation LVL max, shadow manipulation LVL max, illusion casting LVL max, flying thunder god LVL max, magic combat LVL max, blood clone LVL max. Abilities: werewolf transformation, bipedal werewolf transformation, partial werewolf transformation, fear inducement, magic siphoning, mind compulsion, weather control, animal control, healing factor, immortality, super senses, shape-shifting, super speed, super strength, super stamina, flight, telepathy, telekinesis, dream manipulation, omniversal magic, codex, profession, doctor, grandmaster, teacher, grandmaster, author, grandmaster, architect, grandmaster, blacksmith, grandmaster. Perks: 5 times increase in strength every 10 years. Creed. Tab. Malia Mikaelson, daughter, Andre Devereaux, Katerina Petrova, Alexia Branson, Stefan Salvatore, Damon Salvatore. The abattoir. Viktor laid on the rooftop of the abattoir as he looked at his stats and saw how old he was, and also the new title on his stats, which made him to guess that whatever they are known as, it will reflect on the title tab. As he was in his thought, he heard Ketsia and Malia in one of the rooms having their usual squabble. To Malia and Ketsia. That's not how you should do it, Malia. Ketsia and Malia could be seen in the room where Malia was being taught some spells and potion making by Ketsia. Malia. I'm not cut out for all these magic stuffs. I just need my claws and teeth and I am good. No need for magic. Ketsia. Sigh. You are the only person who has potential for magic and is really good at it but don't want anything to do with it. Why? Malia. Like I said, I prefer using my claws and teeth for fighting than chanting some weird language and whatnots. I just don't see myself doing that. Ketsia just looked at her daughter and sighed. She didn't understand why Malia never liked using magic despite having access to it. There are countless people out there who would do anything to be in her place, and she is just going to forsake her magic. Hell no, Ketsia. At least, just learn the basics of magic, spells, rituals, runes and potion making, so that you might be able to get yourself out of crazy situations that requires magic when we are not there with you. Okay, Malia. But I already do know the basics. What's more to learn there? Ketsia. Alright, that's it, lady. Sit your ass down and let's get your lesson started. Malia immediately sat down. She did not want to incur the wrath of her crazy coyote witch mother. Ketsia. Good, we wouldn't have resorted to using force if you were this obedient earlier. Ketsia smiled as she saw Malia sitting down and said as she began teaching Malia. Back to Viktor. Ha ha ha, they are going at it. Sigh. Seeing those two like that, it's making me remember those two bastards, Viktor said as he thought of his two best friends before his death in his original world. Over the years here, Viktor had been getting glimpses of his past life, and recently he recovered all his memories after performing some spells. He remembered that he had two best buds who he could say were his brothers from another parents. They went to the same high school and also planned to go to the same college, but he died before he could achieve their goals. Viktor. I wonder how those two bastards are. Damn it. Why didn't I have my memories back then? I would have used one of my wishes on them. I just hope that they are living well. Viktor said as he could not do anything to help his past friends and just hope they were alright. What he didn't know was that caused series of actions across two universes in the vast multiverse. Katerina, Viktor, Andre and Lexi are back. Viktor was brought out of his thought as he turned to see Katerina talking to him. Viktor. Huh, that was quick. Viktor said as he thought they would take at least close to a century to get to the travelers as he knew that they were tricky people. Viktor. Let's go. Viktor said as he got up and went to the abattoir's courtyard where they saw Andre and Lexi and an unfamiliar vampire and a large box with them. Viktor. Welcome back. You were a lot faster than I thought given the nature of how elusive those travelers are, and I see you managed to find both of them, and why did you still leave our little friend there in the box? Viktor said as he could hear the heartbeat of someone in the box and he knew who that is without being told. Andre. Well, it was all thanks to Nadia here who helped us, and that was after we offered her something, Andre said as he looked at Nadia, who he almost killed when she was acting all high and mighty because they needed something from her, but stopped when he thought of Katerina, her mother, who was an associate of his. Viktor looked at the Nadia and knew she was one helluva bitch like her mother from the series. Viktor. Hey, I'm Viktor Mikaelson and I'm happy that you assisted my people in their mission, so I will reward you anything you need as long as it is within my reach, but for now that will have to wait as I have another matter to take care of, so why don't you and your mother have a chat? Viktor said as he turned to look at Katerina, who looked at before realizing that she was the one Viktor was talking about. Katerina. What do you mean? Is she my? Andre. Yes, Kat, she is your daughter and we help you in looking for her, and I have to say, she exhibits some of your traits. Katerina and Nadia both looked at him with a fierce look, but that did not stop Andre, instead made him smile even more as he looked at both mother and daughter. Viktor. I would have loved to see you go at each other because I am getting quite bored as of late, but I have to attend to our boxed up friend over there, so I would like you to seize your impending bickering for later. Andre stopped as he walked to a far corner of the abattoir as if saying that he heard Viktor, while Katerina looked at Nadia unsure of how to approach her. Viktor looked at the box and snapped his fingers as the box disintegrated into ashes, revealing a trembling Amara. Katerina was surprised to see someone who bears the same face with her, and she knew that she was not born as a twin, so that was not her family. So who was that? Viktor. Amara Petrova, am I right? Or just Amara? You tell me. Viktor said as he was uncertain if she was truly the ancestor of the Petrova family or just a relative to the ancestor, thus making her one. Amara looked around her, still trembling from the recent pain she was feeling as someone just passed through her to the other side when she saw someone she dreaded, the one who caused her to suffer this much, Ketsia. Ketsia. What a pleasant surprise, Amara.
Another tale fades into the silence. But here, in the fantasy audiobook library, stories never sleep. Subscribe and return when your heart seeks adventure. We'll be waiting.